This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Everyone needs to unload to someone who's unbiased and who isn't judging. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny and unload the stress. Welcome back to another Kinda Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Doki Doki, Jared Petty sucks.
Wow.
What
The
the
new
fuck?
face of video games. Blessing, Adeoye Jr.
I don't know. I like Jared Petty. He seems like
Too
a
bad
jolly
we
man.
took his catchphrase and he's dead to us, all right?
Oh,
By
damn.
agreeing to be on this show, you agree with me.
And then, of
Doki
course, we
Doki, I
have
guess.
the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Did something happen recently? Why are we shitting on Jared?
Greg
Petty
was
all the
thinking
time?
about Doki Doki Literature Club because we were
Ah.
streaming it, and so he thought Doki Doki, and then he found an opportunity to shit on one of his friends. So,
the
of
Nick,
course,
the Nick
he took
Scarpino
it.
train of thought.
I just thought
Exactly.
Doki Doki was just a very good, intro Jared Petty used to say, and I haven't heard it in a long time. So then I said it, but I wanted to acknowledge I was stealing it from Jared Petty and that he's dead to us. And by watching this or listening to this podcast, you agree.
Do you know
What
what
a
Doki
journey.
Doki means?
Dookie Dookie, I don't know.
It's like a
What?
heartbeat. It's the sound
Yeah,
the
it's a
heart
heartbeat.
makes. Doki
I
Doki.
mean,
So that's why.
cute.
That's why you have like a lot of horror games or like a lot of like lovey-dovey games beat Doki Doki because it's very much the heartbeat. Doki.
Okay.
Oh,
So when Jared used to
Doki.
say it, did he mean it in a scary way or did he mean it in a heart way?
Oh, we'll never know.
God. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kinda Funny Gamescast. Like I said, each and every week we get together to talk about video games and all the things that we love about them. You can watch it on youtube.com/kindafunnygames or roosterteeth.com. If you want to listen to it as a podcast, just search your favorite podcast service for Kinda Funny Gamescast, and we'll be right there for you. But if you want to get the show ad-free, if you want to watch live as we record it, and if you want the exclusive post-show, you're going to want to be like our friends, the Patreon producers, by going to patreon.com/kindafunnygames, just like Omega Buster, Tyler Ross, Delaney Twinning, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Elliott, and Tom Bach have all done. Thank you so very, very much. But if not, you're going to watch here and you're going to hear some ads like BetterHelp, Purple Mattress, and Fitbod, but I'll tell you all about that later. We don't have time to waste, boys. Greg, you got to talk to Gary Whitta all morning about the Nintendo Switch OLED model. Now that I have this nice gang of boys, I want to talk to you about
You're
your
gonna say
thoughts.
now that I have it in my hands. I was about to be
No.
like, what?
Here it is. No, it looks very
No.
similar, though. Very similar. It is not the Nintendo Switch Pro. It is the Nintendo Switch OLED model. I just kind of want to go around, see what everyone's thoughts are. Pro, con, negative, positive, whatever it is. Blessing, let's start with you.
I mean, I'm very apathetic about it. It's that thing where we've had weeks and weeks and weeks of anticipating a Switch Pro, and this feels like a totally left field, non-associated thing to that. I still have hopes for a Switch Pro. The Switch Pro probably a little bit further down the line than we have thought, because the reports were that it's going to be this fall, and it's now feeling like that's going to be more of a 2022 thing, which I'm fine with as long as we get it someday, because I feel like we really could use some kind of actually upgraded Switch with more power, so that games can actually look better. That's the thing that I really want. But I think the Switch OLED is going to speak to your Tim Gettys. I assume it's going to speak to people that want that nicer screen, want a little bit more space in there, want to use, I guess, the LAN cable for whatever reason, and want the adjustable stand. I think that's gonna speak to a very particular group of people, or people that might just be happening to be in the market for a new Switch and see a thing that costs slightly more but is slightly higher quality, and they'll go for it. And I think with that, I'm down for it. I think it's cool. I'm not gonna get one, but I think it's fine that it exists.
Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm as disappointed as a lot of people are, just based on all the stuff that we'd been hearing leading up to it. But I mean, there's definitely a market for it, and it's going to be, if anything, it'll add another SKU out there to make these things easier to get, hopefully. And maybe some people will say, fuck it, I'll go with the older one anyway, since it's available right now. I rarely play handheld, so I don't know if I need this device. Also, at the beginning of this trailer, Barrett, the way that the word OLED model flies at you, it's like, this seems so anti-Nintendo. This is like
It felt like LG. Like I
this
was
is a
getting sold.
Dolby,
I was looking
Like
at
an LG thing. when
this
it
is a
starts, yeah.
Dolby LG branded thing. It looks very, very bizarre and out of place. But yeah, I think it's cool that the LAN cable is connected in the back, just like Blessing. I hope that we do get an updated model in the future, in hopes that these games just look better and not as outdated as they are now. Because this thing arrived outdated, so like we're just getting further and further out. So just like Jeff Grubb had mentioned on Twitter, though, I expect another model down the line. Hopefully that's an updated one. I won't be shocked if it happens. I just when I tweeted out weird Nintendo decisions this morning, it wasn't necessarily that it was only this OLED model without anything else, without really any other upgrades, no battery upgrade, nothing like that. But it's just the fact that it was like a tweet thread that kind of like threw me off. A tweet thread at 8 a.m. or whatever, just kind of an odd, weird thing. But yeah, hopefully we get an updated model in the future. I'm happy for anybody out there who has been on the hunt for one that maybe has more of a chance to get one now that there's hopefully going to be some more units in the wild.
Yeah, hopefully you can get one for more expensive now. So good luck.
Yeah.
have that fun. Yeah, I think them doing the thread was definitely the realization that this wasn't a pro and they didn't want to put this in their Nintendo Direct because they didn't want negativity to sour what was a very positive Nintendo Direct. So
Can
putting
you
it out here.
imagine if the live reactions to this? Because it would have been the everybody coming up and then crashing down when they realized, no, wait, this is just a bigger screen and an Ethernet port.
Totally. I mean, they could have played it with a lead into Metroid Dread and like really played up the handheld nature of it and the 2D nature and all that stuff with that. But yeah, I don't think there'd be any getting around it being a thumbs down overall from critics like reviewing the Nintendo Direct. So I think they made a wise call there. Andy from Kind of Funny.
I do just want to step in and like put myself out as a shield and defend our good friend Jeff Grubb because he's getting a lot of hate for these predictions, and he's still again on Twitter said, I everything I've heard, hopefully we do see something coming in 2022. And a lot of people are like, Jeff is just walking back all these predictions. He's just, he's wrong, admit it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, first off, chill the fuck out. Like a lot of people were getting these rumors about the updated hardware with that specialized NVIDIA chipset that's going to allow you to do DLSS and just get
that was
better
a Jason
upgrades.
Schreier Bloomberg report. Like,
a lot of people.
A very reputable
it wasn't. It was Bloomberg, but I don't even know.
It wasn't
Schreier, wasn't it?
Takahashi? Yeah, it might have been Takahashi. Yeah.
So obviously, like this rumor is out there. A lot of people are hearing this buzz, and then that random Twitter account tweets out that tomorrow might be the day, and everybody assumes, oh shit, is the Switch Pro going to be announced tomorrow? So that's where all that sort of speculation began, because that account has been correct on a lot of other occasions, and when it comes to predicting what games are going to be on the Direct, that account has been correct numerous times. So somewhat of a, oh shit, maybe this is going to happen. And maybe this year we will see that Switch Pro. And then once we sort of lost hope on that, you start to wonder, maybe it's a 2022 thing or whenever Breath of the Wild 2 ships or whatever. So like a lot of people acting out there like Jeff Grubb is just throwing shit out there. It's like, no, he's hearing stuff from people that have been right before. And obviously, Jeff Grubb has been right a lot before as well. So don't like just hold this one out and be like, Jeff Grubb sucks. He's been right about a lot of the shit. Everybody relax. Take a seat. Fucking drink your chocolate milk, all right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the thing to take away from the fact that, it wasn't just people on YouTube screaming this out or leakers or rumors, right? It was Bloomberg reporting on this, and where the lines got crossed that, you're getting a Switch with a bigger screen versus you're getting a Switch that can do 4K docked, who knows? Or maybe it was just their own source being turned around on and stuff. I still believe there is a Nintendo Switch Pro down the road. Now, is that me believing that the one they're talking about right now and yada, yada, yada? Who knows? We know that Nintendo will continue to redesign this to keep selling Switches, right? So eventually, I imagine they have to get to there. I was talking on Games Daily today. I don't know, and Tim, I'm sure you have opinions being the bigger Nintendo person. I don't know if that means that whatever 4K Switch we're talking about, are we going to see Nintendo pivot the Switch to some kind of Xbox ecosystem where it's like, cool, it's not Xbox to Xbox 360, it's Switch, and this one can do more in the Series X kind of way versus what a Xbox One can do.
I feel like that is a very safe bet. I think it's going to look very different than how Xbox does it. But yeah, I think that going forward, Switch is going to be the brand. And, we got to keep in mind that the Switch has been around for 5 years or whatever now, right? Like 2017, like we're starting to add up quickly there. Or at least it will be 5 years by the time we're talking about next year with Breath of the Wild 2 coming out, and what hardware that might need to run as well as
milk, Tim.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I don't know what
Sure.
it means either, Tim, but Andy said it and I
Drink
gotta
your
have
chalky
it. I'm
milk
sorry.
and go touch
No,
some grass. You know.
I mean, there's
Drink
definitely
that,
a bigger conversation to be had about what Andy's talking about attacking leakers and stuff, and it's just the nature. Leakers attacking theorists, attacking reporters, and whatever type of side it is. Don't attack anybody. Period. Stop. Like, we need to. With great power comes great responsibility, and the internet nowadays is just weaponizing people more and more to just on a moment's notice be able to just jump on everybody for things that they either said or didn't say. And I think that's kind of the biggest problem is a lot of assumptions being thrown around. I think that taking all that aside, just looking at what the facts are, is Nintendo made Nintendo decisions, and they announced this OLED model, which I'm very excited for. I'm a huge fan of OLED. I always have been. I wish that this was available from day one of the Switch. Like, this reminds me a lot of the Vita, and then eventually Vita started with OLED and took it
With the opposite
away.
way.
Later to make things cheaper. And this coming out at the time that it is a little bit of a bummer, it being the third Switch SKU. And, depending on how you even want to talk about it, it might be even the fourth, because the original Switch model had that battery upgrade. So at the very least, this is going to be an upgrade for people like me that have a launch Switch, where I'm going to get that better battery finally. And having an OLED will help with battery, even if it is only slightly. But not having to turn pixels on for black is going to save battery. So that's good. As somebody that I think, what I love about the Switch is I don't think that there is a majority when it comes to handheld players versus docked players. I think that it is kind of all over the place, and depending on the groups you're talking to, you're going to find a majority. Like, people can paint narratives of, oh, everyone I know only plays handheld, or everyone I know only plays docked, but the reality is it is all over the place. And I represent a third group that is, it's pretty damn split 50-50, where I do take it to travel a lot, I do play in bed a lot, and I have it decked all the damn time, so I'm a Nintendo gamer looking for upgrades everywhere, and this is kind of a bummer I'm only getting on one side, but it's Nintendo. I'll take what I can get. I think it's a ridiculous price at $350. Like, this should have just replaced the Switch core model at $300. Call
Drop
it a
that
day.
to $250 or some shit.
Exactly, especially because they have the light. So I think that this just kind of being the new Switch would have been a much easier pill to swallow.
Do you not think that's what this will become?
I mean, but it isn't now. And either way, it's charging more for this that's the thing I have the most problem with. Like, the Switch has been $300 plus since 2017, so to come out with the most expensive model we've ever had, and the upgrade is technology that we've had in portables and phones for that long, at least at this point. Like, it's, if not the Vita, look back at when that came out, right? Like, it's been a long time. And it's just, there's just certain little things of, even if we're just going to look at this as a portable only device for the people and like, oh, it's an absolute win. It's like, well, where's the Bluetooth audio? Like, there's these tiny little details and changes that are honestly expected, and for them to not be here is such a bummer. And then on the docked side, it's like, yeah, having the Ethernet be in the dock, that's great. Should have been there in 2017.
And there's been an easy fix for that for years. Like, I even have like the Ethernet to USB plugged into my dock, and I've had that for like a year and a half at this point. Like, it is a cool thing, and like I will say for probably might help like Smash Online players and stuff. And for me, like that's where I plug in my Switch to download games like really quickly, because downloading games on the Switch on Wi-Fi like takes forever. So it's nice to like be able to like plug in my Switch to the Ethernet and then like download Doki Doki Literature Club in like 5 minutes rather than like 20. So like, yeah, but like I agree with you, Tim. There's just like little things that I don't think are enough.
I mean, with what you're saying there, Barrett, I've been doing exactly that since 2017.
Since it launched,
Since it launched, I've had one of the Ethernet adapters, and that just takes up my USB port. So when I'm trying to play Smash with GameCube controllers, it's just all these dumb little things that add up for hardcore Nintendo fans. And it's like, if they're not the audience for this type of thing, it's like, who is? So with that, I'm excited. I love the white dock. Like, that is so fantastic. But Greg, you point it yourself, but like $350 for this, like,
Is it worth buying this too when the Switch Pro probably is around the corner? Like, if the Switch Pro is fall 2022,
but how long have you been saying that? How long have you been saying the Switch Pro's around the corner?
It's gonna happen someday.
When they put out the new red box Nintendo Switch, didn't bite on that. Wanted the better battery, didn't bite on that. Put out the Switch Lite, didn't bite on that. I hate my Joy-Cons now. Let me just bite on this. Let me be happy with these white Joy-Cons, this bigger screen, the better kickstand for when I'm on a plane.
I feel like we've only been saying isn't the Switch Pro around the corner ever since those first leaks of like, hey, Samsung is making the OLED panels. They're manufacturing them right now for a new Nintendo Switch. And I think that's when we got all hot and horny for it, thinking that the next thing would be updated hardware. Because again, the thing shipped out of date already. So this is going to be great. We'll get new hardware and less bezel, and that's all fantastic. But it was, I guess, this kind of hopefully a stepping stone to the next model, Bless. I don't know.
I mean, what I
hope
assume
so.
is that it is going to be that slow phase thing where by the time we get there, probably sometime next year, hopefully like within next year, the next 2 years, we're going to get the Switch Pro and the OG Switch is going to be phased out and the Switch will come down in price and the Switch Pro will be the one that comes out for 350, 400 and they do it like that because I don't foresee them wanting to have that many Switch models out there at the same time. Like it's Nintendo, so they're going to continue to put these things out and find different iterations of the Switch. But three at one time feels like the max you can do, right? That's in the market at one time. And so I imagine next year or in 2 years, who knows, we're going to get it and they're going to just phase out the original.
You think with the new one next
that's what
year?
This will do already. I think this one's already going to phase out the original and take its place. And then you release the Switch Pro at $400 and it's a $50 difference. And people who are trying to get on board with it all of a sudden are like, well, at least it's only $50 more than the regular one. Why not get it?
You think the new one will get themes?
No. Andy, Nintendo hears you and Nintendo don't care. All right. Like, fuck off. Don't worry about it.
Don't care. Yeah.
Well, that whole thing is kind of the biggest disappointment for me. Is I was talking about this at E3. It's like with every game announcement or non-announcement, it's kind of just like giving you more information about Nintendo's next couple of years. And so the fact that Metroid Prime 4 was ever announced, even if we're not going to get it for a while, at least we know it's coming. Because if we didn't have an announcement, Metroid Prime 4 would just be a figment of our imagination. Whereas things like Star Fox I've talked about, where it's like when we get a bad Star Fox game, not only did we get a bad Star Fox game, that means we're not going to get another Star Fox game for X amount of years. And this is that type of thing to me where I'm like, oh man, this is something I'm interested in. I'm a tech guy. I like Nintendo. I want the OLED screen. I'm getting this no matter what. But I hate myself for that. And this just means that I'm not going to get the Switch that I want for that much longer. And I understand we're in a weird place in the world, but it's just there's a couple features that are missing here that are just such a major bummer to me. And I think that there was some great steps forward. I love the look of it. I love the look of the new dock. I think that the way that it integrates the Ethernet and hides the cables a little bit better, all of that is fantastic stuff. But no type of power boost to help us with Lost Woods. It's just like ridiculous, for a console that cost more than the Switch ever cost. And we are multiple years later. Like that's the thing for me. Like, damn, guys.
I think a lot of the disappointment you see online too with this thing, it comes in two waves. I think part of the disappointment for a lot of people is that people thought they're going to get the Switch Pro. And I think that comes back to the conversation of how to be a savvy consumer, especially when you're paying attention to blogs and you're paying attention to reports and you're paying attention to all this stuff. There's a certain level of shield you have to have for yourself where it's reputable people are saying this thing, so it's likely true, but also you don't know where lines can get crossed, right? You don't know how plans can change within Nintendo or somebody can get bad information and all that stuff. And so I think that is part of where a lot of the disappointment is coming from. But then also there's that other line of disappointment, which is the Switch is caught up with itself in terms of the power and in terms of how games look. I go back to games that I loved playing in 2017. I go back to Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, and like the games are still fantastic, of course, because they're fantastic games, but they don't look like 2021 games, right? Like the characters have the jaggies, you go to Lost Woods and it chugs, and the games artistically amazing, and that's the thing I love about Nintendo, but graphically just aren't on par now that we have the PS5 and Xbox Series X and
you're calling out old
4K
things
TVs.
blessing. I think even Mario Golf, right, a brand new Nintendo Switch game, does not look good.
Yeah.
And that's my thing is like I'm not worried or caring about all the leaks and rumors and what did or didn't happen based on that. I'm more concerned with what we got versus what we should be getting and what we should be expecting in 2021 from a piece of tech, let alone from a Nintendo product. It's like I know that we can just like generalize and say, oh, Nintendo always fucks up. That's not true. Like they make a lot of really good calls as well. And especially when it comes to iterative versions of their consoles and handhelds, they actually have a really good track record of putting out like different pieces of hardware that actually have really good features and unique things going for them, and they've always been priced relatively well for what they're offering there. This to me just seems like a misstep, and it's proof once again that there are no patterns with Nintendo. You can't look back and just be like, well, they did this before, so that means they're going to do this. That is, you can always find or not find whatever it is you're trying to look to prove your point. But the reality is Nintendo is a different Nintendo now than it's ever been. And getting this, I'm like, damn, this is just a sign that like this current Nintendo is not my favorite. But we have so much other stuff to talk about. I want to continue a topic we started about a month ago here on the Kind of Funny Gamescast, where we went to
Game that was only a month ago.
Dude, it was a month ago, man.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, it was before E3 was the thing.
Okay.
When we went through every release date that we knew in 2021, and we ranked our excitement levels for every single game with a release date. Now that E3 happened, there's a whole bunch more games, right? And we have kind of an idea of what our second half of 2021 looks like. And we now have Greg Miller, because I don't think he was with us for that.
He was not. You're
that
right.
first
I'm
topic.
just saying,
so,
Tim, we did this a couple weeks ago with PSI Love You XOXO with Blessings.
Oh my gosh! Don't
super
bring up
fun
2020
game
release
release
list. That was a
calendar.
different thing. That was us trying to
2021.
help this man, and this man did not want our help. All right.
Just so
He
you
did
guys
not
know,
listen to reason.
I'm bringing that calendar into this episode for this topic.
The
because
bless mess. The bless mess.
Oh my god, bless this mess of a list. Yeah, no, like we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna go through the release dates that Tim's bringing up here, and you know, I think we do like the 4 scale, right, of like the super excited, barely excited, whatever the 4 things are. I'm adding my own variable, which is it makes the list or it doesn't make the list. The super fun game release calendar, and I'm very excited for this.
This was April 21st. That Snowbike Mike was on it as well.
there we go. There we go. So yeah, for this one, I'm going to get rid of that scale. It's just going to be individuals, however you want to scale it. Whatever you want to say, whether it's just I'm not interested, all the way up to add whatever word you want to use for how excited you are for the game and whatever you want to add. Okay, Bless, does that make you happy? So that way you can have your own personal goddamn scale.
Oh yeah, I got the list pulled up right here. I'm very excited for this, Tim.
I had mentioned on Games Daily because Blessing had asked if I'd seen the list, but my computer, I only have a 3080, so opening up that image is just like a lot of power taxing my GPU and my CPU.
Hey,
Well, don't worry. He
an
pressured some kid into making a calendar or something for him, so it's fine.
I did an updated list too, where I got rid of the platforms except for where it really mattered, and so that brought it down by like a third.
Oh, okay.
Still
yeah, it's
very
just
long.
it's a large JPEG. Yeah.
Still a very large image, but
you also did it at 600 DPI, which is interesting.
Plus, he doesn't even know what that means.
I don't know. I took a screenshot with my Android phone.
We're starting in July. We have Operation Tango, July 1st. Right? The game,
That's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but platform-wise, guys, it's a PlayStation thing right now.
Gotcha.
So July 1st is coming to Xbox and Xbox XS and the Xbox One. We got PlayStation Innocence. We got a bunch of things leading us to today, which is July 6th, 2021. The next game coming out is Sam & Max. This time it's virtual on the Oculus Quest. I imagine Greg would be the only one to even give this a shot with the Quest. Oh, Blessing has one too, right?
Oh yeah.
Any interest in this?
No.
No.
Next question.
Sorry, no. I've never
Any
seen a Max
game-
guy. I tried, and I can think back to having to try to care about these things. That you want to talk about a different world. San Diego Comic-Con 2007, maybe 2008. I'm at the Telltale booth, which was literally a card table over by Artist's Alley, while they were trying to show me this in Strong Bad on Wii.
Strong Bad on Wii.
They had Strong Bad on
God.
Wii?
It,
No,
was,
they had a
cool,
Strong
it was
Bad
like the
Telltale
cool
game,
cool
yeah.
game for beautiful people or some shit like that.
Yep, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it, Barrett.
What a place
Big
in
fan
time.
of HomestarRunner.com. Hell yeah.
Gotta love it. Then we got Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, Switch and PC July 9th. I imagine that's a
no from everybody, but it did look cool. Throughout E3, watching it in the couple of presentations it was in or whatever, or I guess mainly Capcom, but it showed up somewhere else as well. Like, I thought it looked interesting in terms of Monsties and a Monster Hunter story and all this stuff, but then it was the turn-based battles where I was like, I'm not feeling that.
I'm a motherfucking Monstie!
I'm a Monstie! What do I do about my Monstie? Coco, he's not happy! Help Coco, he's not happy!
So on July 13th,
you feed him things.
we
And then he
got
goes and battles for you. The music sounds like this. Then you cast and it goes on. It's like Coco, beware. Like, what does that mean? Like, it's a status effect. Help me! Coco needs help. Help me! Have I painted a picture of what I think this game looks
No.
like? Because I feel like I did a really good job on this, but I'm not getting the positive reinforcement I need on it. So it makes me want to double down and keep going. Help me!
No, maybe we
Coco
should
needs
stop
help.
it.
Help
Maybe
me
we
help
should-
Coco. I need to
no.
help Coco. Help me help Coco.
No.
I don't know
needs
if
help.
I don't know if us with a video game podcast should be like describing to players what we think the game's gonna be.
Help
Like,
me! No, I mean,
we
I've
could
seen
probably
it.
look
I've
it
seen
up.
it. I know what it is. I'm just saying the Greg Miller chibi version of this.
Oh, okay.
Help me! It's like it's kind of, I've got a lot of Mario Golf in me where there's not a lot of voiced lines. Whereas I'm like Toad here, where I only got like 3 things. Help me! Coco needs help. Help Coco! Like those are my lines. And anybody who wants to animate this,
Coco?
please do. I need a
Who
chibi
is
Greg.
Coco?
I've given you all the lines. What?
Everyone's favorite Monstie, Andy. Obviously.
Yeah, Coco is Greg's Monstie in the game.
Okay, Greg, you obviously don't know
me!
shit
Somebody
about
help
Monster Hunter
Coco!
stories too, but I've heard from a little birdie that you know something about Where the Heart Leads that's coming out on July 13th on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. What do you have to say about that?
What do I have to say about Where the Heart Leads on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4? I'm playing it right now. This is one of those games we had seen a while ago revealed. And yeah, even though it's coming out next week, I have a code for it now. And preview embargo is up right now. So I was playing it before this. And so it's one of those weird timeline. I was looking over here. I'm like, how long have I been playing it? Look at this shit live chat and Mike L. Is Greg okay? Greg's fine. It's Coco. Help me. Somebody help Coco. That's where we're at with the lines. All right. Anyways, yeah, I was playing Where the Heart Leads beforehand. So I actually pulled up the press release because I'd rather let them pitch to you. You're watching it right now. And honestly, the trailer and the press release reminded me of why I was excited about this game. And we'll get to that in a second, all right? When husband and father Whit Anderson descends into a sinkhole to save the family dog, he unwittingly tumbles into a journey through time. Suddenly, enveloped by visions of his past, present, and future, Whit discovers he can change them, altering the course of his life forever. Boasting thousands of choices and dozens of endings across a twisting, uplifting, gut-wrenching story, Where the Heart Leads features a 600,000-word script rivaling 5 novels or the biggest AAA RPGs.
Damn.
Step into Whit's life from his childhood and teenage years to fumbling around as a young adult and referencing his works as an old man. Experience an entire lifetime of choices and consequences. I say all that because, Tim, does that sound like a Greg Miller-ass game?
Oh, 1,000%.
And if you watch this trailer, it looks like a Greg Miller-ass game. And I am happy after an afternoon of play, but I was doing emails here and there too, and a couple of the business calls. So probably we'll say an hour and a half conservatively of play with it. It is a Greg Miller-ass game. The problem is there's just this drop in that I wasn't prepared for. It's one of those games I got the review code for, and I was like, yep, I remember being excited for this. And it's a narrative adventure. Okay, dropped in. And then I did the whole thing of going down the hole, and they do a story thing there where you just fall, you land, and then you're off. And it kind of is this thing of like, man, I sure am stuck down here in this cave. But I remember when I was young, and then like you interact with like a younger thing. And I'm like, oh, this is a weird way to do it. But then you move into this bigger section that opens up a long narrative chapter about what's going on. I'm now in the second or third part of that chapter, or I've got a new title card a couple times. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. It's a game that requires a commitment to it. It's not a game where I'm telling you, oh, pay the first 13 hours. Like, you need to really do something. No. It's nothing like that. It's more the idea of getting in there. It's a lot of reading. There's no voices. So, you're making choices. You're reading dialogue above characters' heads. It is like you're reading. I really do feel like I'm reading a novel. I'm playing a novel, but then you come to, the branching path points where you side with somebody or you give somebody one piece of advice, and then the story goes on that way. And so what I'm finding interesting about it is right now, very early on, the thing I just read you was, he's in this thing and he can change his future or whatever. I don't feel like I know Whit's future enough from the little bit I played that I'm going to get there and be like, oh, I altered this. Nor have I gotten from him wait, that's not how it happened kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm still waiting for that, but they've done a great job. First off, if you're watching it, I think it has a really beautiful art style, kind of abstract. And right now it looks very, not plain, but normal in terms of a landscape. But the whole tumbling down the rabbit hole kind of thing, the world I'm existing in, like there's hard edges to it. It seems like they're playing with scale of what things actually would be. It's very beautiful. It's very interesting visually. And the story itself is interesting too. Once I got to the kicker of what was happening and where we were going, I was doing it. But in the total, dorky Greg Miller way, I'm enjoying establishing this relationship with the woman I know as his wife, as him as an adult with his children, right? But now that I'm having conversations with her and making choices and doing things, I mean, I'm still being like, she's my wife or whatever, but will that play out? Am I making choices that actually, will push her away from me or move her and we're going to get there and not be married at the end? I don't know. Maybe it'll end and I'm married to Jen. Who knows? Maybe I get there and guess what? Coco needs help.
God,
Help
no.
me!
Damn, stop.
Coco needs help. I'm Coco.
Andy,
Because you can see the little anime Greg and Coco. Now, Coco, I just envision as a pile of shit, but you can make him whatever you want, animators.
Tim, are you about to move on to the next
Well, no,
game?
Bless, you had your hand raised. What do you have to say?
Oh, well, I was gonna say, you're working off of Game Informer, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You should be working off of Blessing's super fun game release calendar because you've already
Okay.
missed Boomerang X, which is coming out on July 8th.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's a really cool game that people should look forward to.
How dare you, Tim? How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? Again, like, pull everybody, if you're listening to this
Charlie.
right now, go over to my Twitter. It's pinned. It's pinned on my Twitter. Blessing super fun game release calendar. But it's I don't know how much you guys know about Boomerang X. It's essentially a Devolver Digital published game, indie title, really cool first person action game that has a lot of the same, I'd say, elements that you'd see from a lot of the fast-paced, one-hit Devolver Digital type games, thinking of like your Hotline Miami's, your Katana Zeros, your Ape Outs, those types of games, but it's first person. And the whole bit is that you're rocking with a boomerang as a weapon that you spin around, and you get to throw at enemies, and it's very fast-paced. I think they describe it as kind of an arena shooter type thing.
This looks amazing.
Yeah, with a really cool art style, very colorful, and yeah, really looking forward to this one.
Is
This
it the
is coming
same
out
devs
July
that
8th.
worked on Stonefly and
No.
no? The art
No.
style looks
You're thinking of Flight
identical.
School. Yeah, it's not Flight School.
God damn, that art
Yeah.
style looks fucking identical. Because I can't think of what was the other game, Greg?
Island
Creature in the
Time
Well.
VR, starring Carl the Crab.
No, the
Creature
the
in
one
the Well, starring the Creature in the
There we
Well.
go. Creature
Yeah.
in the Well.
It does look like that. Barrett, can you bring up what Andy sent assets? Please. This I imagine has to do with the last game we were talking about. No, sorry, not this. The thing he just sent. Where the heart leads.
The more important thing. Because I wasn't sure if there was there's any relation to the Kim Vogel Sawyer novel, Where the Heart Leads.
Honestly, this guy looks a lot like what I envision Wit to look like. Because again,
Ah.
abstract painting, so it could be this thing and it could be a man at a time kind of scenario. Because that's what
Okay.
I'm assuming. Looking at this is a man in the early 1900s.
Yeah, that's
In love
exactly.
with a
You nailed the
woman
plot.
and-
Yeah, it's one of
yeah.
my favorites.
It looks like it's very small for me. He's from the 1900s. He's fallen in his own little rabbit hole. He's popped out somewhere. It looks like in front
Where's
of a.
Coco?
I was getting there. Let me get there. Don't ruin the bit before I get there. You steal the punchline.
Yeah, Andy, don't ruin this bit.
It's such a good bit.
All right, Tim. I'm sorry. I know you want to be the new giant bomb, buttoned up game journalism over here. But sometimes you got to let me get out here and pitch a few. And what I'm pitching is a chibi Greg Miller with a pile of shit monsty going, help me. Somebody help Coco. Coco needs help. And I'm up in that register. See, that's how you know I'm a voice actor.
Yep, that's exactly how you know. So continuing on from there, okay, we got Curved Space July 13th. I'm just gonna go if any of these have any interest to y'all, stop me,
Sure.
okay?
Cool.
Lost at Sea coming July 15th to all consoles. F1 2021 coming July 16th. Observer System Redux. Space Jam: A New Legacy coming to Xbox XS and Xbox One. What do you have to say about that, Bless?
If you have Xbox Game Pass, you can already play it. You just have to
Yeah.
go and redeem it.
Wow,
and
the
I
best
have
deal
played a
on
little bit
video
of that game, and it's a fun thing to jump into for a night, I'd say. If you missed the boat on this one, basically it is. I believe the series of events where they had a whole contest where they had students and people pitch their game so they can make a Space Jam game, and two people won, got their game created, and the game ended up being this beat 'em up style game, like a pixel classic beat 'em up, where you can play as either LeBron James, Bugs Bunny, or Lola Bunny. And the whole gimmick of it is that you have a basketball that you play with, and if you're playing on co-op, you can pass the basketball and you can throw the basketball at enemies, and that's one of your main forms of combat. And I thought that was a really cool thing. Like, it was a really cool mechanic.
Chaos in the Windy City, Kevin or Greg. You remember this?
I do remember that one. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City. He had a
Yeah.
blessing. He had a fire basketball. He had like an ice basketball. It
Oh
was
my
so
god!
cool.
Would he just
It was
blast
so
the
cool.
basketballs out?
I don't know. I don't know if
Okay.
it came back.
Because in this game, it's like a consistent basketball you're using that you're passing between your teammates, and you got to go pick it up. You can also hold B, I think, to just retrieve it if you want to. And super fun for a night, I'd say. Like it very much is for fans of the genre, quote unquote. Where if you like beat 'em ups, or if you want to play something that feels like a classic Double Dragon, I would say for sure check it out. It's pretty cool.
And for everyone interested in Space Jam, you can find Blessing on Space Jam in Review starting next
Oh
week.
yeah.
Very exciting. Very
So
exciting.
Tim, I know
Yes.
you want to keep this on the rails.
Oh,
I know
of
you want
course.
to be the
Mhm.
Walter E. Murrow, right, of games journalism over
That's
here. But
me.
here's something I need to confess. Blessing, I fucked up, and I want to apologize to you. All right.
Mhm. Okay.
Saturday, y'all came over. We did a 4th of July cookout over here, right? When we were buying things for the cookout, I ran in to 2 little Space Jam gift boxes, and I got them for you and Snowbike Mike, and I set them aside because I wanted to surprise you. And now every time I go to get a plate, I find them up there next to the plates. And so there you go.
It's okay.
Next,
It's okay.
next
I
time you
forgive
come over, they're here for you.
Hell yeah! I got cheesecake when I was there, and so
And you got some
Oh,
jam. Not
and
Space
I got some jam
You
that
got
I was
some
eating
plum jam.
right before this. Some plum jam. That was
It's
really
good.
good. I love plum.
Mona jam. All right, moving on. We have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD coming to the Switch July 16th as well. Greg, I want to start with you. Is there any? What's your hype level for this?
Not a fucking chance. No, I didn't like this when
Really?
it originally came out. I'm not going to give it another shot. I got things to do.
Andy.
I'm definitely giving it a shot. Again, a lot of this era of Zelda was just kind of lost on me. And so, especially with all of the improvements that I've heard, where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna streamline stuff. Things are gonna be easier. It's gonna feel good. It's gonna look good. And guess what? It's an HD 1080p, huge. I'm definitely gonna hop in."
Les.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to this one. I miss this type of Zelda, and Skyward Sword I fell off of hard because after the first 6-7 hours, I just got super bored with it. Did not like the motion controls, and the fact that they're fixing those up a bit, the fact that they're adding a bunch of improvements, the fact that they're streamlining a lot of things and not having it so that whenever you pick up an item, you get the pop up. Them fixing that alone makes me go, okay, cool.
Blessing,
yeah, I definitely want to jump into this
it's
one.
gonna save like 3 hours.
Yeah.
In total.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is on this along with Boomerang X and Space Jam New Legacy, all part of Blessing Super Fun Game Release Calendar 2021, pinned right now on my Twitter at Blessing Jr.
Fantastic stuff.
But
Yeah, for
unfortunately,
me-
oh, go ahead.
go for it, Andy.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, we only have 4 days to play it because Death Thor comes out on the 20th. But go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It does. I mean, I don't have too much to add on it, but like this is one that I'm excited that it's coming to Switch, and I'm looking forward to playing it over time. But I'm not in a rush to like beat it in a weekend or anything. This I think is going to be one of those Switch games that kind of just lives on my Switch,
Are you
and
gonna
I'll
tip
play
away
it
at it, you
through,
think, over
tip
time?
away over the course of a while. And hey, you know what I mean? Laying in bed with an OLED Switch later this year. Could be fun. But Andy, you brought it up. Death's Door, July 20th, Xbox Series X, S1, and PC.
There's the one, man. This was the game of the show that was an Elden Ring for me. And it had, I think Devolver had shown it on Twitter 3-4 months ago, something like that. And I was like, what the hell is this? This looks stylish as hell. And I was so happy to see it as a part on E3 and was happy to see it all 12 times that we saw it throughout all the different showcases. It looks fun as hell. The style is dope. I love the little world that they're building. And the combat, it's all about that combat for me, that top-down, very reminiscent of Hyper Light Drifter. If you ever heard of that video game, you should check it out.
No,
It's a
never heard of
really
Never
good
heard
video
of
game.
it. If only somebody would talk about it, you know?
Highly
No one talks
recommend it. A lot of people saying like, "Oh, this is by the people who made Titan Souls made this game. This is gonna be dope." It's like, oh well, if you want to play the better Titan Souls, check out Hyper Light Drifter. But yeah, this game looks amazing, and the enemies and the world. I love the environments. Sort of remind me of that. What's that little fucking fox? That little sexy ass
Tunic.
fox.
Tunic?
Tunic. Yeah, the
Don't
environments
call
remind
him-
me.
Don't call Tunic sexy. I don't like
Sexy fox,
that.
Barrett.
No.
That's a
Think-
sexy
look at his
fox.
glistening
Hey.
hair, Barrett.
Yeah.
I don't like
So
that.
anyway, I just love the art style, and I think this is like exactly my shit. And I can't wait to check it out and check out
Yeah.
that dash button and the parry mechanic.
Hell
and these
yeah.
Yeah, you
weird
nailed
ass
it. Andy.
wacky
I love
bosses.
Titan Souls. So as soon as we started seeing this and hearing about this, I was definitely on my list of things to play.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I didn't realize when we first saw this one that it was from the same devs as Titan Souls. When I heard that, I was like, okay, this makes sense because Titan Souls was a dope ass game, and this game looks super good. It's on my Blessings Fun game release calendar 2021, and it's getting the must play seal that I'm doing for this episode. Yeah, this is the
Damn.
first must play
A lot of patenting
2021.
here.
What was don't we have a Blessing Picks graphic from PS I Love You?
I don't know
way
if
back
that
in the
made it
day?
out of
For
the
the
office.
We do
dreams,
that for
remember that
Dreams,
thing?
wasn't
Remember that dreams thing you used to do?
Oh yeah, we can bring it back for this episode. You got the graphic, right, Barrett? I can send it to you.
Barrett, play the graphic.
That definitely did not survive the office. I'm just gonna say that. I just want to point out this castle right here. It's like they saw Final Fantasy VII and they're like, you fight
Hell house.
you fight a house. Well, fuck that. We're gonna have you fight a castle.
This thing is bigger. Yeah.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to the reviews on this because, like, I think that it has a chance to be kind of like that Celeste Hades level of just like, yo, this is stop what you're fucking doing and play this game. It looks super rad, and yeah, from a talented team, and love the character design, love what they got going on here. Can't wait. Won't have to wait long. That's fantastic. Monster Harvest coming on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. The Last Stop, which I think is a Greg Miller-ass game, right?
Full fucking stop is where you go right here. You're talking about the last stop. Yes.
July
Are
22nd.
you kidding me right now? Let's get going. Of course, it's from Variable State. You remember them from Virginia, a great game in 2016. And so, yeah, it's another deal here. It's a narrative adventure kind of thing. You're going through, I believe it's told from 3 different perspectives. Every trailer has made it look wonky in a good way. You know what I mean? I don't know if Barrett's got something to play here. There you go.
I always got something
like
to play here, Greggy. Never doubt me.
Barrett, you're fucking killing. I love you. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? But you look at it here, like you're seeing, like it's 3 different stories that all play out on their own, but intersect with each other is what I understand it as, right? And so it's this weird little anthology of kind of what looks to me to be like, you know, how Life is Strange, play through the thing, make the choices, a Greg Miller ass game, as I always talk about. And so, yeah, I'm super into it. Let me get you, hold on.
Immediately confused this, Greg, for Route 86 or 80.
Sure, Route 96.
96.
Route 96,
96,
yeah.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
based
hold
on
on.
the name.
Yeah.
Wikipedia premise reads, set in present-day London, the game centers on 3 characters, John, Donna, and Mina, whose worlds collide in the midst of a supernatural crisis. An anthology drama, Last Stop is 3 stories in one. The themes of the game involve a focus on secret lives, the ties that bind, and how magic can be found in the mundane. Fuck yeah. I think it looks great. I really enjoyed Virginia. If you haven't played Virginia, I'd say get out there and get that under your belt. Easy platinum too, which is very nice. But yeah, looking forward to this one.
Next up, we have Contra Returns coming to iOS and Android July 26th. I'm interested in giving this a shot. The gameplay looks like a mobile version of a game that I wish it wasn't, but this trailer is fantastic because somehow they got Andy Cortez in it to hype this up. Like, tell me this character doesn't look exactly like Andy.
Does look like Andy.
That's me. That's me.
Even with the jacket, man. It's like, but can you imagine a Contra that looked like this?
Yeah, why aren't they doing?
It'd be amazing
Why
because
are
they're
they
not.
showing this? Why-
Yeah, because this is just like to get you excited for what could be. But yeah, nah. Notice they don't show you the gameplay in this trailer.
What, are you fucking kidding me?
No,
That's
they
really
know.
The kids
funny.
love.
They fucking.
That's
they
really
know.
funny.
They know.
Oh.
Barrett, hold on. I'm gonna send you a clip real quick to assets.
They knew it. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they really did. There, I sent you some gameplay. It
Oh.
looks exactly what you'd expect Contra Returns on mobile to look like.
Oh,
And-
I hate it, Tim.
Unfortunately,
I hate it.
it's this, and like
Oh.
the amount of dialogue popping up, the amount of things slowing
Barrett.
down. It's like this isn't Contra.
Fast forward to
guys.
240. Fast forward to 240. I hate it.
Andy, I just want to what would you rather do? Play this or be Gabe Logan?
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh, neither. Look at this boss. Look how bad this boss looks, dude. This looks
Yeah, this
Yep.
looks terrible.
Key
Konami.
art looks dope though. Key art looks pretty dope. Whoever these characters are. But god damn.
Next
That's
up,
disappointing.
we have
Uh,
Microsoft Flight Sim. Oh, what's up, Les?
Well, I got to interrupt you again. You're not using Blessing Super Fun Game Release Calendar. You missed out on Chris Tales. Chris Tales,
Yeah.
really cool looking game, indie game, classic JRPG style game. I think we talked about it in the last episode, so I don't want to dwell on it too much, but it's one that you should keep an eye out for. Really cool art style, and it has a cool gimmick where you can fast time travel to the future, and it does that Titanfall effect and cause type of thing where you're going back and forth from past to present or from present to future, and it reflects cool in the art style and all that stuff.
I just
Really
wish
cool
it wasn't
game.
turn-based. Wish it wasn't turn-based. God damn.
Oh, you don't like turn based?
I'd be so in. I'd be so in. Art style's amazing.
It looks fantastic. Yeah. Moving on, we have Microsoft Flight Simulator finally coming to Xbox Series X and S July 27th. Is this what's going to get you in, Greg? Is this what's going to fly you and Andy to Texas?
Yes, Andy, it's happening finally. Are you prepared? Now, here's the good news about this, Andy. Obviously, since they announced Flight Sim, I've been saying I'd fly you to Texas. Then there was a global pandemic, but we're out of it now. We're all vaccinated, so you got to come over here for the stream. And I'll sit up here. I'll sit right over here, and I'm not on camera. I'll sit right over here and fly you, and I'll bring you a little chair, and you can sit right there. And if we play our cards right, maybe Jen can come by. She can be a flight attendant. She can bring you drinks and things, show you around. Porty can be my little co-pilot. We can get something for him to sit on. You know what I mean?
This is the weirdest, crazy sort of turn of events. I am flying home that day.
Fucking you suck.
That is exact
so
day.
Fucking funny.
That exact fucking day, I am flying back to Texas for the first time since
whoever is writing the
2019.
simulation, good job. Good
God
fucking job.
damn,
whoever
that
is
is
writing it.
ridiculous.
Maybe I can fly
we
Jen to
race him.
Quebec.
Let's race him there.
No.
Ooh, that'd be sick, actually.
Yeah, you like call in to like be like, all right, like I'm about to get on
Wheels
the plane
up.
9. Yeah.
Well, no,
Wheels
it's just
up.
that he gives me the exact what time he takes off, right? And then it's just up to me. Because if he gets delayed, that's on him. That's on him. Nothing can happen.
And like you win if you land before Andy calls you.
100%. Yeah. So I just got to get up there and I got to throttle it. You know what I mean? Throttle it up, I think is what they say. I'm really going to open her up. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's what they say when you've watched the Fast and Furious before. Open her up. You know what I'm talking about. Get on the
Is
open
that what
road.
Vin
moving
Diesel
on.
says?
Unless we have more to say about Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I'm
I can't
excited
wait
to get
for it.
a
That's all I have
shot
to say about it.
on the Xbox, and with Game Pass, you can totally do that. Just pop in for a little bit and see what's up. I've been wanting to get it on PC, but it's just like the download process and everything it turned me off just because of how big it all was. I'm like,
Sure.
I never did, but definitely excited for this for a little bit. We have a whole bunch more games that we talked about in the last episode. So I'm trying to skip a lot of the ones we already did, but one that I don't think we mentioned last time was Nier Reincarnation coming to mobile July 28th. Bless, I know you're kind of new to this Nier world. Does this do anything for you?
Oh man, no, it doesn't. I mean, I love Nier Automata back in the day, and I still even haven't finished Nier the one that came out earlier in the year. So Replicant. I still got to get back to it and finish that. But I have no interest in a mobile game.
No.
Wow. Look at that.
Does look cool though. Does look
No,
cool.
I was saying, look at you. Like, no interest in a mobile game. You know what I mean?
Fake.
I'm over here
I mean,
stoked. Marvel Future
you know-
Revolution, right? Look at me. I'm going to play mobile games left and right.
I'll play the occasional mobile masterpiece, right? I'll play Florence whenever that comes out.
Listen. I'll play the occasional 10 out of 10 game on mobile.
Wait,
Exactly.
I don't really know what this game is doing because it's showing beautifully rendered 3D environments, and then the gameplay is just a character kind of. Okay, that looks better, but it's so
It did look
bizarre.
really bad before.
Yeah, I don't know what the game is. It looks
Nier Reincarnation is a role-playing video game developed by Applebot for Android and iOS. The game takes place in the universe of Nier and its sequel, Nier Automata, which are in turn spin-offs and sequels to the Dragon Guard series. Set in a realm called the Cage, the player takes on the role of a girl guided by a ghost-like being.
Ooh.
Okay.
The gameplay is set in 3 parts. The first is the Girl of Light exploring different areas of the cage with Mama. During this exploration, they come across statues known as scarecrows, which grant and upgrade weapons used to fight enemies. Then there's some memories you play through, and then battles play out automatically in real time inside the memories with a party of 3 characters against enemies. So
Yeah, for a lot of that, it looked like a Nier game. How Nier is always switching perspectives. It'll do a top-down moment. It'll do side-scrolling. But there were those moments in the beginning of that trailer or that gameplay demo that looked like some sort of 2D animated Flash game. That it looked
really weird.
very, very different from what. I mean, maybe those are memories, or I don't know what the hell that they're actually doing there. But that didn't look like Nier. That was very odd.
I mean, Nier 10s every now and then will change art styles mid-game. Like in Nier Automata, they did the cool thing where they had hacking minigames where it would be all digitized and different, and so it might be one of those things as well.
Bless, should I go back to Automata?
Yes, you 1000% should go back to Automata.
Yeah,
Fantastic game.
I'll do it.
So then moving on, sticking with the mobile stuff, we do have the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster series coming July 29th. I doubt that's for anybody here. Bless, maybe you give it a shot to one of them.
I forget, which one is that? The Pixel Remaster?
Pixel Remaster is 1 through
Steam.
6 being released on Steam
okay.
and the
Mobile.
and iOS and Android. And Yeah, I'm interested to see how they end up looking. But yeah, this is kind of like I was talking about earlier with the Nintendo OLED stuff. Like this is the worst case scenario for me, where I'm like, we have the HD 2D stuff and they're remaking Dragon Warrior. It's like remake Final Fantasy VI. God damn it.
What's the
but
word with that Final Fantasy VII mobile remake? Because that's what I am interested in trying out. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
Oh
well,
yeah, I do remember that.
Soldier or something or other.
Yeah, like they announced it earlier in the year, and it looked really cool.
Ever
It looked like
Crisis?
a fun way to actually get the Final Fantasy VII story without going
It
back
looked
and
like
playing
what
the
they're
PS1 game.
doing with Pokemon Ruby Sapphire.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yeah,
it's
Ever Crisis.
yes.
There you go.
Yes.
so cute.
I love that their Square's own description for this is another possibility for a remake.
Like
That's awesome. 2022.
Like you're not supposed to put the emails that we had in the description of the game.
Just
And
copy and paste it
possibility
from
is
the marketing files.
capitalized. That was a choice. I love them. Yeah, this looks rad though. And then we got The Ascent coming to Xbox and
Yep.
PC July 29th.
Hell yeah.
The Ascent, that's the one that Paris talked about recently, right? That was like the kind of top-down isometric Helldivers looking one.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
very
Cyberpunk,
excited.
let's go. Xbox Game Pass, let's go.
Every time I open up the damn Xbox Game Pass PC app, I see it there under the coming soon, but I don't see the coming soon next to it. So
Yeah.
I just think like, oh shit, it's out. And I get really excited and then I get really sad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that with everybody and going off and building your own character and coming back and being able to run through it together with people when we get into stuff. Should be good
Yeah,
for
4
streaming. Could be a lot of fun for bumping into each other out there. Because I miss Helldivers. I tweeted about that this year. That I missed it, and to have something similar to that, I'm all about it. And it is, as Paris called out, the cyberpunk world. You know what I mean? Like doing it possibly better than CD Projekt Red in some ways. So to get in there, if you still have that itch, that could be the one that gets you.
Greg, did you see the game that was announced earlier in the week? Or maybe last week. It looks like Borderlands mixed with Helldivers.
Yeah, I heard you guys
think
talking about it on
Flying
Games
Wild
Daily. I didn't actually look at it, but I was listening to the podcast.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Borderlands mixed with Helldivers. It might be up your
Nice.
alley.
Hell yeah.
And then the last one in July 30th, we have Alone with You on Switch, which I do not know about. But before we move on to August.
No, we're not done with July. July will also see the
oh.
Omega level threat family reunion come to Marvel's Avengers, and I can't
Right.
wait.
God.
It'll also give us the patch where we can all play as whatever we want. I made a big thing now that I don't need to worry about it anymore because it used to be only one Captain America, only one Black Widow. You understand? Now that I can just do it, I'm just investing in Cap. Me and Goldfarb have been running exotic missions out there. I'm on the Cosmic Threat right now, trying to make sure I got all my exotics ready to go. Thank you.
Jokes aside, is this something that you're actually really excited about?
Jokes aside, for sure. I definitely understand that for most of the time, my Avengers love is indeed a joke, right? That this game that that they drop content to and I go buy new stuff, yada yada yada. The last villain sector they did with Monica was awesome. I did a whole talk about it on PS I Love You. Janet and Blessing were nice enough to pat me on the head and let me rant for a little bit. But they actually did really well with that. That's the kind of content I want out of Avengers, and the group that still plays Avengers and talks about Avengers on the text thread, we all want out of it too. The boss fight was challenging. It made us think about strategies. We failed a bunch of times before we finally got in there and conquered it or whatever. And on top of that, it introduced, some cosmic abilities, making enemies tougher, but more importantly, giving us new things to do with old missions. Like they are actually doing stuff. Not that I invented it by any stretch of the imaginations. It's all, stuff you'd expect an ongoing game to do. They're doing stuff I talked about in my episode of The Blessing Show of, hey, here's a reason to replay these missions you wouldn't replay for any other reason. Now you're running through them. You're working your way through this cosmic quest line that'll give you a reward at the end. It'll give you something to go do. And for them to have that last month, now to have this Omega level threat, which will be the first thing that really pushes our 150 characters. I'm excited for that. And then, of course, right around the corner after that, of course, is War for Wakanda, the giant expansion. So right now, Avengers is actually on the upswing for people who care about it.
That's great. Before we move on to August, let me tell you about our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Purple. Doesn't it seem like the world's against us from getting a good night's sleep this time of year? It's too hot, the mattress is too stiff, too much is going on. I have the answer for you. Only Purple Mattress have the Grid. Its unique ventilated design allows air to flow through to help you sleep cool. They also have the Grid in the pillow. I've been using that forever, and I will never use another pillow. It is a game changer. You don't even need to flip it to the cold side because the entire thing is the cold side. It's perfect. It just never overheats. I don't understand it, but it works. Purple is comfort reinvented. Right now, you'll get 10% off any order of 200 or more. Go to purple.com/kindafunny10 and use promo code kindafunny10. That's purple.com/kindafunny10. Promo code kindafunny10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. purple.com/kindafunny10. Promo code kindafunny10. Terms apply. And next up, shout out to Fitbod. Don't get stuck doing the same workouts. Making progress towards the future you means overcoming new challenges. Fitbod creates a fitness program that continually adapts with new exercises and dynamic intensity that adjusts to how you're progressing. So you'll be challenged to meet your goals at your own pace. Gia's been using this. She's been really loving how easy it is to use and how varied it all is. Just kind of keeping her active. Fitbod is super easy to use and even has HD video tutorials to make learning new exercises a breeze. It integrates with other fitness and health apps like Apple Health, Fitbit, and Strava. Personalized training can be tough on the budget, but Fitbod is only $9.99 a month or $59.99 a year. And right now, you can pick up the pace on your fitness journey with Fitbod today, and your future self will thank you. Get 25% off your membership at fitbod.me/kfgames. That's 25% off at fitbod.me/kfgames. So here we are, August 3rd, in Sound Mind. Then we got Lemnis Gate, the Falconeer finally coming over to the PlayStation side of things. Godfall coming to PlayStation 4, August 10th. Icarus, PC.
Whoa. Let's talk about Godfall. Blessing.
Let's talk about Godfall.
You came back for this, and then you were like, you played all the stuff they've done since Godfall. I was like, you've made me excited for it. And then now, we get this. It's coming to PlayStation 4, but that times out with the Darkness. What is it? What is the expansion they're actually adding out
Fire
to?
and Darkness.
Fire and Darkness. Thank you very
Yes.
much, Barrett. Look at that.
Yeah, Barrett's on it.
So
Yeah,
are
I'm
you in for
looking
this one?
forward
Are
to
you going to be back for this?
I'm gonna try it out for sure. Yeah, like I think it looks cool. Though I want to know more. Like I want to know like what kind of new content it's actually gonna bring.
Sure.
I gotta rewatch the trailer to see exactly what it is because I played Godfall, beat it, and then fell off of it just because the content wasn't there for me. But yeah, dude, I'm down to jump into it. And if you want to hop in as well, we can get you up there. We can get
Because
get
you
going with the game.
started it when at launch, right? When we were talking about PS I Love You and Gamescast and everything
Yeah.
else, and you fell off of it real quick there. But then since then, you came back after all the different patches they did, had a good time with it, and then you said you were ready for this. So I need you to either drag me through what you already did, or I need to just get. I can do it all here, I guess.
Yeah. No, we can get you through. Like from watching this trailer, right? It looks like they're bringing in a new realm because there are three realms already, and it looks like they're also bringing in new enemies and stuff. Yeah, we can get you in there. The game is very much just go in, beat shit up, and have a good time, and like not worry about anything else. Legitimately, it is the ultimate podcast game where I did not care about story at all, and so I just like sat back and I just
there's no way they're gonna patch that in to make sense, right? Because I remember when we originally were playing it, I was like, it's fun, but I have Miles Morales, I have Sackboy, I have a million other things to play that I care a little bit more about.
Yeah, no, we can get you in there.
You guys gotta get them Valor plates.
Valor plates, no
Valor
joke,
plate.
are like the dopest thing about the game. I'm actually kind of excited about that because they look really cool. The Valor plates are basically just different forms of armor that give you different abilities. It's like choosing class in any other game, but they're very, I guess, aesthetic in terms of the way they come out, and you can have very different kinds of Valor plates. And so I assume that the 50 that they're adding are mainly aesthetic, like or cosmetic Valor plates, which doesn't really add much in terms of ability, but will make you look prettier, which I'm all about.
You're pretty.
You always
Boy,
look pretty
bless.
to me, Blessing.
We got Foreclosed, Naraka Blade Point.
You know,
And
for
Actually looks pretty
Naraka,
cool.
yeah, that was my
Yeah.
thing. From what I saw at E3, battle royale, melee based. You run around cutting each other up with swords and stuff. It looked cool. And then Golden Boy, of course, one of the E3 co-hosts with me and Jackie, Golden Boy had nothing but nice things to say about what he had played from it, that he actually enjoyed it, which made me look at it, but I didn't know. I don't think it's a Greg game necessarily, but I'm interested enough that I'll probably give it the old test drive when it comes out.
Yeah, I want to try it out. The gameplay of it looks fun, but at the same time, watching the trailer, parts of it look rough enough to where I hope it comes together. I hope that when you actually have the controller in hand, it actually ends up being a really fun thing. But when you watch the trailer, it's like, okay, this seems like it could be double A or it might not have as much budget behind it, but that doesn't mean that it won't be fun when we actually play it.
Of course.
I watched Shroud stream a bit of it. It seemed a little rough around the edges, but it does seem like that sort of gameplay where I'd rather play Spellbreak
Yeah.
if I'm going to play this sort of third-person battle royale game. I know, like, obviously this is more of a up close melee type fighter, and Spellbreak's definitely more of a range thing. But I think I would probably just prefer hopping into a game like that as opposed to a game that maybe doesn't seem super proven. Is it a free to play? Do we know?
Ooh, I'm not positive.
I want to say it is, but I can look into it for you.
Because that's definitely like it's got to be free to play if they want people hopping in.
Yeah, for this type of game, you would imagine, like you would hope that it would be free to play. The thing that's pulling me in is the fact that one, I like the Sekiro kind of art style to it, and game style to it, where you have the grappling hook where you can pull in, and then also the melee, because that's the thing that
we've not free to play.
Not free to play. Oh damn!
Standard edition $20, deluxe edition $35, ultimate edition $50. This is all
$20 isn't that bad.
The rockofthegame.com.
I worry that you're going to run into a lot of the issues that you have with melee games online, and how good is your netcode, and is there going to be I'm slashing this dude and I'm not hitting him because for whatever reason that animation is just not sort of attacking correctly. That's probably my main worry with that. But $20, that's not bad. I hope they do some sort of thing that maybe Knockout City did with like a free weekend, a free trial weekend or something like that.
Next up, August 12th, Skatebird, baby. It's finally time. Gonna get on that board, gonna do some tricks as a bird. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait. Have you played it yet, Greg?
No, I never did the demos. The demo that came out. Well, they had one at E3 last year, this year, whichever one it was. But no, I'd seen enough in when Skatebird was in the Kind of Funny Game showcase, and I was like, yeah, this looks awesome. This looks fun. You know how I don't know, as somebody who is always more of a skate person than a Tony Hawk person, I'm not sure where I'll fall on the scale of that, but I'm looking forward to trying it. And it's cute.
I'm definitely interested in time. I'm not expecting it to blow my mind, but I'm hoping for a couple hours of fun. You know,
sure.
I just added one Naraka Blade Point to the Blessing, the super fun game.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Looking forward to
it. Does it get the Blessing Pick Award or whatever the hell?
Naraka, no. Must play seal, no. It doesn't have them. You have to be like a certain caliber to get the must play seal, and so far, only Death's Door has that. But both Skateboard specifically seems like one that I'll play for a night and be good with, and that's the secret when it comes to the calendar, is that a lot of these games I'm hopping into for a night and then I'm bouncing out of. But yeah, Naraka is a definite. I'm gonna try this out. And Skateboard, I would say, fits in that same thing for me, where I'm like, I'm gonna try this out and have fun with it, because I love the skate kind of games, but they're also, I think they're also pretty tough to make. Like I feel like the actual good ones are few and far between, which means that you got to have the right stuff. And even Tony Hawks have gotten it wrong in the past, as we've learned. So like, I hope this one has the stuff. I hope it's fun, but I'm not as cool and novel as it looks. I'm not expecting greatness until I have it in my hands.
I definitely want to. You know what, Bless? I'm with you on Naraka. I'm watching more of it. I think I'm going to give it more of a shot.
Hell yeah!
But I just
stream, man.
My mind immediately goes back to playing Demon Souls and having people invade my game, random players across the world, and I see where their sword is hitting, and it is 5 feet behind me, and I'm getting hit, and it's like, okay, that shouldn't have hit. On your end, it probably hit me. It's like all the Fall Guys bullshit, where it's like, I grabbed him. I was fucking right there. How did he grab me? You were 20 feet away. Yeah, so that's my main worry with it. But yeah, I guess the traversal looks fun and interesting enough. I'll give it a shot.
And then Hades comes to the rest of the consoles August 13th. That's very exciting for people that haven't played before. Anyone planning to play through again?
I will have to stop myself from doing that because there's going to be other more important things. But Hades is so fucking good, so everybody go play it.
More important things like 12 minutes coming out on August 19th, baby. Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC. That, I think, is the first one that we've talked about today that all of us are probably maximum hype level. Like, let's fucking 100%. Go tied together for, right?
Yeah. Can't wait. We've waited a long time for that, Tim. 2015 is when Louise came through my spare bedroom, or actually the living room, to sit with us and play this, the most old demo ever of that game, and to see how far it's come, to have Daisy Ridley, Willem Dafoe, and then James McAvoy all in there and stuff. I can't fucking wait to play this and see where the idea, which was good enough on its own, went with actual money from Xbox and time from them. You know what I mean? We talk about the strides Xbox is making and the ability they are giving independent developers to actually go out and make bigger, better things out of their ideas. This is the perfect example of it, and I can't wait to see how it pays off.
Absolutely. And I think that the choices they made from a marketing perspective have just been knocking it out of the park. Like the gameplay looks great. Like we've already known that, but adding that voice talent and the poster they released like a week or two ago is just like, just even more just cementing what the tone and vibe of this is going to be. And man, it looks freaking awesome.
It's just legitimizing it even more. And like, this is a must play thing. You will regret missing out on this.
Yep. I also love the amount of confidence that they have in the marketing of it without doing the any sort of like grand statement kind of thing, because you get into those indie games that you build hype for, like I think of the No Man's Skies and plenty of games to come out, and it's like I've heard so much talk about this and I have it in my hands and it's just not living up, where 12 minutes has this allure of mystery, but then also the way in which they're marketing, like you said, Tim, with the poster, with the names, with the actors and actresses, all that stuff has me ready for it, and it does get the must play seal.
Wow.
Holy shit.
It does get the must play seal.
This is amazing. We got to call Schreier. We got to call somebody about this.
Next up, we have Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, PS5 and PS4. Bless, I'm going to start with you.
I'm super hyped for this. I'm definitely going to try out the Iki Island stuff. I think that stuff is super cool, and I love that they're doing some form of DLC for it. But I'm somehow even more excited for the Legends content, because they talk about adding in a new mode. I can't wait to get back in there. I hope that they add possibly new raid content. I'm not expecting it, but that for me, that would be the 10 out of 10, oh snap, they did it kind of thing, because I absolutely loved the Legends raid. And so, yeah, I'm definitely jumping back into this one.
I kind of want to go back and see if I can actually beat it, but then on the 4th, you got Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Problem.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm running into, because I never beat it. I went through the first island. And I'd say I'm about a third of the way through the game, and I don't know what else happened because I was addicted to it. Like waking up in the morning and I have a couple spare hours, let me go back into it and do some random side missions. And I think I just played so much, and then my mind was taken off to something else. And it kind of sucks because obviously everybody loves it and it won a bunch of awards. So I definitely want to hop back in, especially with PS5. It's going to look amazing. It's going to look even better than it did somehow.
Yeah. Greg and Kev kind of turned me off when this first came out on giving it a shot, because there was a lot going on. Just everything they were saying about it, I was like, oh, this really doesn't sound like something I'm going to enjoy. But I'm kind of with you, Andy, in the sense of like this being the PS5 upgrade that already looked great, now just looks even better. It's like I gotta at least give it a try at some point, but it's gonna be rough of the when with Kino right there. And in addition to Kino, before we even get to that, August 24th, I want to talk about a game called Hoa that if you guys haven't seen, it looks freaking awesome. Barrett, I'll send you.
Don't worry.
That's Hova.
Okay,
Hova.
Close. Damn.
Yeah.
HOA. It's a game.
I googled it. It's Homeowners Association.
Big fan. You know what I mean? No, this is Miyazaki, the video game. Like this. If you scroll forward a little bit, Barrett, like it looks just like this super cute little like 2D platformer that seems to be less about challenge, more just kind of about the cool environments and what's going on. The music sounds great, and just kind of like the whimsical nature of it all. I've had my eye on this one for a while, and I'm excited for it. It just looks cool. It like the art style is derivative of things we've seen before, but still kind of has this unique vibe to it that is hard to put my finger on. But I think it's something about the outlines of the character. It kind of really adds this like Miyazaki anime-esque look to it that I haven't seen in a 2D platformer. Yeah, it kind of looks like a happy Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it looks delightful. Yeah, that looks fun as hell. There doesn't seem like there's going to be any like crazy depressing Ori type shit happening in that game. I hope not. At least
you never know, though. Yeah. You never freaking know.
That's true. You're right. Before we move on to Kana, though, Aliens Fireteam Elite, another game that I'm probably going to play for several days and then immediately move on to whatever, because that's just kind of the life that we live. But that looks fun enough. I didn't really think I was going to be excited for it until I saw John Drake tweet a video about it. I was like, all right, let me actually see the video. And like, it looks good. It actually looks like a type of 4-player co-op similar to like Left 4 Dead's and all that sort of shit. It's similar to the dinosaur game that we played, Second Extinction, where you're going to be laughing and screaming your face off because these goddamn aliens are running after you. And there seem to be a bunch of different alien variants where they all have sort of different abilities and ways to get at you. I think it looks like a blast, and I can't wait to hop in with.
I'm right there with you, Andy.
all.
We sent Nick to play it, right? And so the idea of this 3-player cooperative, we were running around either chasing the alien, killing the aliens or being the aliens or whatever. That sounds like fun. Like, and I'm with you of how long will the staying power be? I don't know. Like, it's not. Predator was set in a universe I was more into than the space stuff and the alien stuff there, and it's similar to like Friday the 13th. So getting in here, I don't know, but for sure, I could easily see a weekend being lost of all of us going through with Snowbike Mike, right, and playing this and shooting shit up.
Yeah, looks like fun.
And then we got Kena, Bridge of Spirits, coming to PS5, PS4, and PC August 24th. Definitely have high hopes for this. It looks beautiful. If you don't have an OLED TV, this is the type of game that might make you want to get one because a lot of fun colors. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and the gameplay looks fantastic too. Definitely, this gets my blessing. 2 thumbs up. Approval.
Wow, Tim giving out a blessing award.
Yeah.
Can he do that?
Uh-huh.
Can he do that?
I'm gonna say it. He can do it. Yeah, he
Holy
can do it.
shit!
I'm gonna
Oh
do
my
it too.
God.
This one gets my must play seal
There's
as well.
2.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. 2
Somebody
must-play
help
skills.
Coco. Things are getting crazy.
I'm just excited to actually see what it is, right? Because like we've gotten the trailers, which have mostly been cinematic, and some gameplay stuff, and it all looks almost too good to be true. In some instances where I'm like, this looks incredible. The art style looks incredible. The gameplay looks, from what we've seen, the gameplay looks really fun, and I just want to, I want to get into it and just play it. Like that's where I'm at. Where what like how I come out of it, we'll see like how it reviews and all that stuff, but everything about the game stylistically speaks to me, and I think that's the thing that has me excited.
I'm gonna play this shit on PC with those settings cranked to goddamn maximum, dude. It's gonna be a delight.
I just love a good giant boss health bar, and just seeing that red go down. Good for them. Good.
What do you guys? What do you guys think the conversation about the indie game of the year is going to be by the time we get later on? Because we talked about 12 minutes and then Death's Door, and we've gotten even games like Chicory. Do you guys think there's going to be a standout by the time we get there?
I mean, it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be a lot of competition there, like potentially more competition than the main game of the year category that we're talking about. But we'll see how things shake out. We got a lot of change-ups can happen.
Competition for indie game of the year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be more competition to have indies actually. I think it sounds like it's shaping up that there'll be more indies in the running for game of the year. Like, I feel like that's more likely. I mean, indie game of the year will be fucking bloodbath because there'll be so much, and that's been the last few years of it. But there's a lot of games that we've already seen that we think could make a run for it, let alone the potential of something like Kena, right? Something we've talked about and we all think looks beautiful.
I'd like to see anything try to compete with NBA 2K. We'll see about that.
Moving on, we got for Barrett, Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, baby. I recently got onto the Psychonauts train. Finally, played through the first game for the first time after so many different attempts, and I'm really stoked on this one. A lot of people are trying to compare it to Ratchet and Clank, and while I don't know what it's gonna do on that level of like platformer stuff, like I'm still just really stoked. The game looks really good, really pretty for like the specific art style that it has. And again, like when it comes from the mind of Tim Schafer, like you got to just believe in the weirdness and the way him and his team are gonna like pull it all together. Like I'm expecting a game of the year contender for me personally on this one.
Yeah, I think when you I think trying to compare to Ratchet is kind of odd because they're two completely different games. Like Ratchet is all about that combat. This is all about not only the smart kind of level design and cool gimmicky, what are we going to do in this level to progress, but a lot of Schafer's games are about dialogue and cool character moments and story, so that's dope. I'm super excited for a lot of people who have been on that sort of Psychonauts train. So that's exciting. It's finally here. I feel like we've been waiting for this for a long time.
100%. Yeah, and like finally playing the first, like the original one for the first time, and since it came out in like 2005, 2006, and playing that and falling in love with that in 2021, and getting like a modern iteration of that game. Like I'm so excited to to see like all the like even like the gameplay improvements that they make and stuff like that. Like I'm super stoked.
And then taking this and running with it, Bless, we got one for you from the same type of you've been waiting a long time for No More Heroes 3, August
Hell
27th.
Hell
Do you think it's actually going to hit that date?
I think so. They did the whole gameplay showcase at Nintendo Treehouse, and it's hard for me to believe that they could do all that and have the game not hit. Then again, like it's being developed by Suda 51, and so like we'll see when it comes out. But yeah, I'm confident in it. I'm looking forward to it. I've tried to stay somewhat radio silent on, I don't know if that's the right term, but for the trailers, not try to watch every single one and dig into it, because I know there's a lot to dig into in terms of what the story is and what's happening in the world and who these aliens are that are coming through and how all that's involved and what the combat looks like. There's a lot to dig into out there right now, and I'm trying to stay away from it because I want to go in fresh, because it's been a while since No More Heroes 2, and then No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again, I think is what it was called, the top down game that came out a few years ago on Switch. That one did not hit for me the way I wanted it to hit, and so I'm really hoping that this one comes through and actually makes up for that and hits the way that I need it to hit, because yeah, man, I love No More Heroes. I cannot wait for it.
And then we have Snowbike Mike's Game of the Year 2020 Forever Kiwi. That's Keywe. It's how would you describe it, Andy?
I mean, I saw Nick and Mike sort of play it. It's what is it? It's a kind of co-op, almost It Takes Two style game, similar to Overcooked and Moving Out, where you are two Kiwis and you are trying to get letters sent out, I believe.
Your male birds.
Male birds, your male birds, yeah. So like, yeah, I don't really know much about it, and Snowbike Mike seemed really excited about it, so good for him. Him and Nick ended up playing this on stream. I wasn't there for that, but I kind of tuned in a little bit.
Okay, moving on to September then.
Whoa! You
Go
kidding
for it,
me
Greg. What do you
again?
got? What do you
August,
got?
ladies and gentlemen. Marvel's Avengers: The War for Wakanda expansion. I can't wait. Barrett, play the graphic.
What the fuck?
You can't not be excited. For
I'm
Black
also
Panther
I'm very sorry for recording people and stuff like that, because I think the audio, I didn't hear it, but it seemed to have like really peaked. So I apologize for that. I'm so sorry.
We got you. Fucking.
It was like it started and it was all red, and I was like, oh god, it was probably really bad. So I apologize.
It was worth it. Yeah, a few kind of funny best friends lost their hearing over this for 10 minutes. It's fine. You all got the graphic and it was good. Don't worry about it. War for Wakanda. Don't sleep on it. Let's see what they got up their sleeves.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna play it properly now. Okay.
Can we do that legally? Is that allowed?
I mean, we did it on PS I Love You. We didn't get banned. You know.
Yeah, but like, Stega's not out here listening to PS I Love You.
Oh, that one's under the radar. Gamescast the established.
Gamescast.
No, there's no way they can get away with it.
I did want to point out on August 31st, New World, which is that Amazon MMO that a lot of MMO fans have been looking forward to, because everybody just kind of wants whatever the next WoW is. When New World had their alpha, we mentioned this on another podcast, but people were really excited about it who are really into MMOs. And I thought, man, this thing's probably going to hit huge. And then over the weekend, a gigantic streamer named Asmongold, who plays WoW all the time, hopped into Final Fantasy 14 for the first time and had 200,000 people watching, up from his usual like 30,000, 40,000. Final Fantasy broke their Steam concurrent player record. They had 47,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is the most they've ever had, which is just, it's wild. So I'm wondering, like, shit, maybe Final Fantasy 14 is just going to take that crown anytime soon. So New World, not a great time for it to be releasing, especially with, it seems like things might be trending towards Final Fantasy's way, but we'll see if it finds an audience.
You want to jump into Final Fantasy? I downloaded it. I got sold on a podcast I was on a couple weeks ago, months ago now, probably.
And it's only, and it's like, you can just play with controller, right? Like, it's kind of recommended that you do that. Greg, I can't commit to that. I just
Andy,
can't, dude.
if you do it, I'll do it.
What if we
Man,
all
this
three
is-
did it?
This is like
I,
Fiesta
I
Texas
have it
all
right
over
now. I can
again.
start up and make a character right now.
Or this is like Six Flags all over again, not Fiesta Texas. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it.
So moving on to September, Les, we're going big down the slopes of all forms. It's Riders Republic, baby, coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC September 2nd.
Greg,
Can't
you look
wait.
upset. Greg, you look very
Oh,
upset.
let them go. Let them have their moment. Let them talk about it.
I'm so excited. I'm scared about what Greg has, but I'm very excited. It's part of the Blessings Fun game release calendar, of course. And
course.
half of me wants to give it a must play seal. I'm not, because
We don't know.
did the graphic just start? Did you guys see that?
There,
Yeah,
give it
yeah,
out. You're like, am I giving it to it? And it went up, and then you're like,
You
no,
took it
not as
back.
gosh.
I took it
Take
back.
it
I
back,
took it
take it
back. I
back.
took it back.
Take it back. Because like it being Riders Republic, right? Like I'm not. I'm more excited for it than I am confident in it, right? Like the game looks fun. The game looks like it has so many elements of extreme sports games that I really like. They literally have graffiti from Tony Hawk in there, and I'm like, if it has that, how can it be bad? But you know, it's one that I'm just excited to try. I'm jump into.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like this, everything they're showing speaks to me. It's a bunch of different genres I love mashed into one. I love Fall Guys. I love extreme sports games. And I love Mario Party and all this like goofy shit. If they can like bring it together and make it a quality experience, this is going to be something special.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a lot of hours in this.
Like you said earlier, it's real hard to nail this type of game. So I'm hoping they do.
I want my guy to look so cool.
Greg, what do you have?
September 1st, Lake. You blew right by it on this list. I can't wait for Lake. I never shut up about Lake out there on the internet. This is the one where it's 1986. You go back to your hometown to deliver mail. I'm fucking pumped beyond belief to play as this lady. What drove her back home? What kind of characters I'm going to find in this town as I deliver mail?
Did you
I
see
can't wait for
Joey?
Lake.
Did you see Joey stream this game, Greggy?
No, it's the thing where it was during E3, right, where they actually put out a
Yeah.
demo of this as part of the Summer Game Fest stuff. I want to go in blind. I love the premise. I've been following for I feel like a little over a year now. I forget where we saw this the first time, but I'm stoked.
I would encourage you to go over to youtube.com/kindoffunnyplays and just watch Joey play this for just a couple of minutes because it's worth seeing.
She liked it a lot, right?
Yeah, and it's worth seeing her drive around a mail truck.
Okay.
They got sniper rifles in this game?
Yes.
No, Andy, it's not. Games don't always have to be about killing all the time.
But what if I'm just shooting targets?
It's a special unlock, Andy.
Did the tree die to make that target? You know what I mean?
Thank you, Barrett. Thank you.
Les, I got another one for you and me here. Sonic Colors Ultimate. Have you played the original Sonic Colors? And either way, are you going to play this one?
I have played the original Sonic Colors, and I plan to play this one. This is getting to the part of the year where things are getting a little bit hectic, and I don't know what's gonna come of my my whole calendar here, because 3 days later there are literally 2 games that are coming out on the same day that I'm gonna want to play as well. But I'm hoping that I can just jump into this one and play it over the course of a day or two, because Sonic games don't take forever to beat and blast through it. Because yeah, Sonic Colors, if you're not a Sonic fan or you don't pay attention to these type of games, Sonic Colors is one of the better 3D Sonic games. And this is the first time that it's coming to non-Nintendo consoles, and it's going to be, I think, HD for the first time too. And so I'm super excited to try it out for all those things.
Yeah, Sonic Colors is super rad. I'm very excited. Like you said, it's not going to take too long to play through, so I'm definitely planning on beating this one. I'm excited to see how well it holds up, because this is the perfect example of that era of Sonic where this was the first good game of the 3D ones after a very long drought of very horrible games. So I wonder if it stands up, or if there was just such a good moment where I was just happy I had something that was decent, you know? So I wonder if this is the 8.5 I remember it being, or if it's going to be more of like that 6.57 range that is a lot better than the 3s and 4s we were getting. So either way,
Yeah, it's not gonna be 7. It's gonna be 7.5 at least.
I'll take it.
At
I'll
least.
take it, man. I want some more Sonic, and at least it's a good one. Life is Strange, True Colors.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is
Always
one of the
ready for
2
more Life
games
is
I was
Strange.
talking about. Yeah, Life is Strange is so good. Part of me wants to go back and play the rest of 2 because I never finished 2 because that came out in such a weird episodic like month after month kind of way that just didn't. I don't think that one panned out well doing that. I'm glad that they're dropping this all in one package, and I really hope that this feels like a return to form for Life is Strange. I know this is Deck 9, and it's not Don't Nod, who have made the Life is Strange games that we love, but Deck 9 was responsible for Before the Storm, which I thought
Well,
was
that
really
and I
good.
say that though, right? You say that, and it's like, well, Like, have they? Like, you know what I mean? Right now, what you apparently have one Life is Strange game you love, number one, made by Don't Nod, and then you have one that you loved, Before the Storm, made by Deck Nine.
Yeah.
Then you have one miss from the other one, and then what do you do with this one?
The people who actually finished Life is Strange 2, though, I hear very good things about that game.
I finished Life is Strange 2. I enjoyed Life is Strange 2. I did not think Life is Strange 2 hit like Life is Strange 1 did.
Okay.
Like, I enjoyed my time with it, but I wasn't like, I would say, super enamored with the characters, like the brothers or whatever. I felt like there was too many like coincidences and people who were introduced really quick then go away. One of the things I loved about Life is Strange 1, right, was Arcadia Bay and getting to know like your stepdad who you hate but learn to love throughout, right? Your mom, stuff like that. Like, especially the way they did with alternate realities and things there. Like, they kept you in one place, which I think really helped. Whereas I think Life is Strange 2 was so moved from a road trippy, right? I've moved from one place to the other, get these characters for a fraction of an episode, and then they kept changing things up in terms of the story. It didn't work the same way for me personally. And so you look back to this one, even if you want to look to I always struggle with the name, Tell Me Why, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tell Me Why. Another game where they, brought these kids back to home and then anchored them there. I think that helped. And granted, that was Don't Nod. This is Deck Nine. This is Deck Nine, a game Ryan Clements worked on. I'm excited to see what he has up his sleeve. But even looking at it, I feel like it looks so much better than Life is Strange that have come before. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, I love that they've updated the art style quite a bit, and then also I still don't get the superpower. That's like one of the things that I'm curious about.
She's an empath, right? Isn't that her deal?
Yeah.
Blessing
like
is it's going to be Persona, man. She's going to go into their emotional palaces and then make them have chains of hearts,
Yeah, it's just not as cool as Rewinding Time. That's where I'm at. It's not as cool, but maybe they'll get.
But I mean, again, look at it this way. Life is Strange Before the Storm, right, had no powers and it was a dope game. So I don't think we have to worry about it too much.
That's a very good point. Chloe had a power. Her power was that she could argue real well, wasn't it?
Her power was Ashley Birch's voice.
That is September 10th. And also September 10th, Tales of Arise. Andy, is that a you game?
The Tales series kind of, they've never quite had me. They never had my car, Tim.
Yep.
That's all I'll say on that. That's all I'll say on that. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's got a dope art style and it's got that fun sort of hack and slash action adventure type stuff that I enjoy. So I don't know if this will be the one that I actually hop into. I've played several Tales games at friends' houses when we're just kind of hanging out, drinking beer, eating Whataburger. That sort of hangout vibe, all right, not beer. Sorry, soda. Sorry.
I just meant that's a good night. That's a night I want to.
Oh, that's a great night. It's a great night. It's got a fantastic art style, and it seems fun enough. And I will probably check it out because I'm enjoying Scarlet Nexus, and this seems sort of that same kind of actiony vibe.
Then we get into kind of a
turn-based though.
No.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
I think you, similar to Final Fantasy 15 and 7 Remake, you go into encounters, but you are real-time fighting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this isn't like I attack, then you attack, stuff like that. But you are kind of in an encounter space, and then you defeat the enemy and continue on. I'm pretty sure.
I want to try it out, but I think it's going to be one that I'm probably going to wait till maybe early next year when there's a drought, because looking at this game, I can already tell this shit is probably like 40 hours long.
Moving on to the week of September 10th, we got a couple bangers coming out, or at least big properties. We got WarioWare Get It Together coming to Switch on September 10th. I'm really excited about this one because WarioWare is one of the Nintendo IP that I don't really have an entry I identify with. Like, it's not one that I'm like, oh, this is my shit. I just kind of enjoyed them all in the little I played, but I never owned a single one of them. So I never really kind of played through the entire thing. So I'm excited for this.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's a Nintendo series that I connect with that you don't. You know what I mean?
I'm with Tim. I don't know shit about WarioWare at all. I was just shocked that they actually made a new one.
Well, it's one of those. Tim, talk to me if I'm wrong. I think it's just one of those to appease that hardcore Nintendo fan base. That is WarioWare, right? Like, for me, it was always WarioWare Touched on DS. Right, that was the one that I came into, and then I remember the Wii one wasn't good, right? Or did it not live up to expectations? I can't remember.
Smooth Moves. I love Smooth Moves.
I could be totally wrong. I remember there being one when I was still at IGN that was a disappointment. I remember people didn't like as much.
The Wii U one was the problem.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Because for me, it's not that I ever would say, "Oh man, I'm a WarioWare super fan." I enjoyed Touch, like I was talking about, and that was right when I had gotten my DS, right before I had moved out of Missouri out here, and so like enjoyed that one. And then when I got here, there was a couple. It was like they were always around, and I wasn't the Nintendo guy or anything, but like I enjoyed what I played of them. So the fact that I feel like there hasn't been a one that I've played and really enjoyed in a while, and then the fact that it's on Switch, a console from Nintendo that I fucking adore, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this one actually does get my must play seal. I'm very excited for WarioWare. And yeah, like it's interesting. Can they hear me talk when you do the graphic?
Oh, I'm not
I
playing
don't
the.
hear
I'm
it.
not playing the
Yeah.
audio anymore. I'm just.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
playing the
perfect.
image, yeah.
Perfect. It's interesting to hear like the different jump in points because for me, my jump in point was the original Game Boy Advance game, and then I returned with WarioWare Smooth Moves, which I didn't pay attention to reviews, so I have no idea like what the wider view of it was, but I really love that one. I know DIY was one that came out that people weren't digging as well, I think. But there's just an energy to the games. There's a weirdness and there's just a pure funness to WarioWare that I absolutely adore, and I plan to get lost in this one for a few days at least.
Then next up, we got Deathloop, PS5,
Woo!
PC, September 14th. Can't wait. We've seen it so many times. I guess we're going to see it more this week at the State of Play, but
9 minutes.
let's go.
Yeah. What's left to say? Can't wait for this one. Can't wait to see how it
Absolutely.
Just put
plays
it in
in
my
the
hands
world of
already,
Pop.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forget if Greg was the one that mentioned this, that like we've seen this game so much, and I identify with that a lot. I don't want to see any more Deathloop. I'm not gonna be mad about watching more Deathloop because the game looks really cool, but I've seen enough to where I'm sold on it, and I just want to play the game at this point. Another one that gets my must play seal.
Then we got Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm kind of interested in where you guys fall on this one, coming to all the main consoles September 16th.
I'm excited for it. I think it looks like a much more polished version of what a lot of the other games are doing. When I say a lot of the other games, I'm talking about the Second Extinction or that Alien Fireteam game. It seems like this has more polish. It's something that Ubi's been working on for quite a while, and I loved their E3 presentation. They kind of made a statement of this game. Here's what this game is. It is a lot more stealth. It is the way you play Rainbow Six Extraction. It's the way you play Rainbow Six Siege. You are not running and gunning. This isn't meant to be this loud, crazy adventure. Possibly it might get that way towards the end of certain levels, depending on how far you go or whatever. But I loved how strategic they made it in a way to kind of separate themselves from Back for Blood and all the other types of games in this genre. I think it seems cool as hell having the different operators, having different abilities, and certain characters having certain strengths and certain weaknesses. I think it looks dope as hell. I can't wait to play it. I think it looks really neat.
I'm right there with you. I can't wait to jump into this one. It seems very Siege spin-offy, which is the thing I'm most excited about because, like you said, Andy, there's going to be the operators, and then there's also going to be the destructible environments, and I love. I kind of like the Left 4 Dead renaissance we're getting with all these different games, and it's going to be interesting to see which ones stay and which ones don't make it. And I think with that, you're going to have different games have different takes. And so, like Back 4 Blood has the card system, which I think surprisingly liked when we played it out, and it seemed like a really or when we played it back in December, and it seemed like a really cool thing. And this has the siege elements that I really dig as somebody who really likes Rainbow Six Siege, and so I'm all about this.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm way more excited for Back for Blood the next month, but that's just because I want the more run gun bullshit with your friends while you play action movie stuff. I want to try this one, but the strategic siege part of it just ain't, or Rainbow Six thing, it just doesn't super appeal to me.
Does Diablo 2 Resurrected on PC appeal to you, Greg? September 23rd.
Yeah, no. Like I'm more interested in a Diablo 4. I love Diablo 3. I didn't play Diablo 2, I don't think. Maybe in college on somebody else's machine. So it's not like I'm jonesing for it. And I feel like the quality of life improvements that have come with games, not only in Diablo 3, but then other Diablo-like games, I feel like are going to make me play this for a little bit, maybe. And not even, it's PC, no offense, where I'm not even probably going to go through the rigmarole of coming over here to sit down and play it when I could be playing the laundry list of other things we're talking about right now.
Then we got We got a couple games I'll throw out there. We got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot coming to Switch, Lost Judgment coming out, Ghost
Lost
Runner
Judgment, I'm
coming
interested
to
in
next
kicking the
gen.
tires on. I shouldn't even say that. I really enjoyed Judgment 1. I still haven't beat Judgment 1. It's the idea of that it is Yagami story and it's a great detective thing, but it is so Yakuza-y and it was formulaic in terms of what it was doing for its own game of Judgment, where I felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again of get the mission. All right, run over there, beat the shit out of this guy, run back.
What are those
and
sound
then, like,
effects? What are those?
Slowly keep going. Huh?
What are those?
That's the caption box popping up and the text slowly entering.
Got it.
I thought you were like doing a typewriter.
That's what it
like
sounds like. It sounds like a typewriter.
marking down the task or something. Okay.
Nah.
It's one Lost Judgment is one I for sure want to try out. I missed out on Judgment, but I really like the idea of the game and it being this different kind of Yakuza game. And so I'm gonna try it out at the very least.
Moving on after that, we got the Tim Gettys potential game of the year. Hot Wheels Unleashed. Barrett shows some footage of this. September 30th, baby. I hope this is good. It looks like it's going to be fun. And I can't talk about it enough. The more they show of this, the more I'm just like, it keeps looking better and better and better. It's still at the point that it looks good, but like we're getting close, guys. And I feel like 2 trailers from now, it's going to be solid. But I love these type of games. And I love that it's been so long since we've just had, this kind of fast-paced boost tracks on the field type kart racer, even though it's not a kart racer. So very stoked for this.
You plan
one.
to make your own tracks?
No, I've never been a DIY type of gamer. You know what I mean? I like playing other people's stuff, but I can't wait to beat the shit out of you in this blast.
Oh man, I can't wait to play it.
Oh, you guys,
gonna have a
both of
good
you
time.
guys are talking big. Y'all cute. Y'all cute.
It's happening.
Barry, you
It's
hopping
happening.
into this?
Oh, 100%. And I'm gonna kick
Let's
y'all's
fucking
butts.
go.
Damn.
Then moving on to October.
Can I toss one out here?
Yeah, please.
I know
do.
you're trying to move. I'm sorry. I apologize. For September right now in the App Store, it's listed as September. I want to toss out Marvel Future Revolution. This is one we haven't talked about. I haven't talked about, I think, on any shows, just on Twitter. When we did PS I Love You the other day, we were talking about spin-offs and what we want to see from them. We were talking about Ghost before we knew lots of stuff about it. And one of the things we were talking about was how you do a multiplayer Spider-Man game. And I had said on the show, well, I'd love to have like a giant open world, either MMO or 4-player co-op thing where we all have our own world Spider-Man, where you make your own Spidey in the front, you have your own skill tree, you go and investigate, and then, you see how your spider is different from Blessing's, different from Andy's. A kid in the comments had said, hey, that's a great idea, Greg, but it sounds a lot like Marvel Future Revolution. And then I went and clicked on this trailer that I remember seeing during some presentation, whatever it was, I don't remember, and then went and learned more about it. And it's in a mobile game right now coming out. It will be playable on PC. I think somebody had said in my comments about it that they hinted at consoles. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. But the idea is that you go in and you start the game and you make your own character, and you're like from Spider-Man, Captain America, Ms. Marvel, right? Or Captain Marvel. You're going through and selecting what their heads, bodies, and legs look like or whatever in terms of their costumes. Then you go off on your own open world RPG thing that then crosses over with other people and does become MMO-like, where you're running through and doing bigger boss fights together and doing missions together and all this stuff. It's a mobile game, so like it looks like a mobile game. If you're watching right now, you're obviously watching the CG trailer. There was a soft beta launch or something like that where there was gameplay leaking of it, or not leaking, gameplay posted from people who are playing it like Australia or whatever. And it looks to me enjoyable and interesting, and I want to see more about it.
Cool. Moving on to September, we got Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania on Switch October 5th. I fucking can't wait for this. I know this one might sound like I'm just being stupid, like the Hot Wheels thing. I'm not. Super Monkey Ball is a fantastic franchise, and this being a collection of all the best moments of the old games is just so perfect. Like this was one of in the same way with the Psychonauts, I think kind of like defined an era of Xbox gaming, and like it was one of the best 3D platformers of that time. Monkey Ball was Nintendo 64 ass GameCube game. It was like it brought back all of that multiplayer. It was so iconic. Just like this was the type of game you rent at Blockbuster 10 times because your friends can't stop playing it, and you're just playing for 4 hours, one more match. Like I think Monkey Ball really kind of stood up when Mario Party fell off. And that's a big thing that I'm excited for people to play. And this is going to be a blast of a stream game. If the online works, that's another question. If it even has online, that's another question. But very excited for this, and keep your eyes on it because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Then we got Far Cry 6, October 7th.
Yes, please.
Dude, October is pretty loaded, man.
October
Yeah.
stacked.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Far Cry 6. I'm super stoked for Metroid Dread. Back for Blood.
Fuck yeah.
4 days after that. Guardians of the fucking Galaxy, Battlefield 2042. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Mario Party Superstars ending in October 29th.
God
yeah,
dang.
October
Oh, yeah.
is stacked.
Very exciting. And especially as me, who I was more of the COD player. I never really did a whole lot of Battlefield. So I am more than excited to get into this franchise. And I know Bless hasn't really played much Battlefield either. So like to have that, to have somebody else who's as inexperienced as I am, sort of learning the ropes and figuring out how the gameplay is, moment to moment, and have Snowbike Mike kind of, helping us through this weird ass journey and see if the game actually stacks up to what they've shown us. I think that's the more exciting part. Is it actually gonna look and perform this way? That's it. And again, and then after that, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and holy shit, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out this month.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it really starts with Metroid Dread. Like, I can't believe we're getting Metroid 5. This is insane. This is a story that I've been waiting to see for 15 years. And 2D Metroid, it's unmatched. And I think that's kind of the biggest question is, in a modern era when it is competing with Hollow Knight and things like that, like, is it still going to be unmatched? Or are we going to see, like, the Metroidvania stylings kind of like prove to be more important than the pieces that make Metroid its own thing? But loving the look. I got to see an extended gameplay demo of this after E3, like behind the scenes or whatever, and it's really cool. I love that this is a sequel to Fusion, and Fusion had a really cool element that was very Resident Evil 2 style, where you have the dude kind of chasing you down, Nemesis in Resident Evil 3. They had that with the SAX, which was just like a parasite version of Samus. And here, having this, I forget the name of it, but this robot kind of hunting you down in different
Isn't it
rooms
like
that you
M
go
or
in.
something like that, like EMM or something like that?
Something like that. But it looks really cool. And this is the type of stuff that I love most about Metroid is, the kind of scary factor that the game can have, like when it leaves you alone and it really is about atmosphere. And they seem to be nailing it with this one so far. And the graphics have that really cool look to them. And I can't wait to play this on my OLED Nintendo Switch. See them colors pop.
How dope would it be if Nintendo had any sort of semblance of intelligence when it comes to wanting to play old games and was like virtual console? Because I'm like, oh, that, you know what? This is the sequel to Metroid Fusion. Where would I go if I wanted to replay that game? And
You wanted Metroid Fusion, Andy? The best way to play, if I remember correctly,
Wii U Virtual
would have
Console?
been to have the Wii U, or to have bought the 3DS and been one of the early adopters of the 3DS, because there was 10 Game Boy Advance games they only released as a sorry for dropping the price really quickly on the 3DS that you couldn't have got on the system otherwise. So
yeah, like people are like, how do I figure out what happened in Metroid Fusion? Just watch a YouTube video. Don't even try bother to playing the old one. Like,
man, Fusion's
maybe
so
eBay,
good.
eBay a 3DS, eBay the game. Like, it just seems like, why is it so hard to play old games? God damn.
Yeah. But this one looks great. Very excited for it. We got Back for Blood then, October 12th. Woo! That's another one that looks really exciting. And I'm with Greg. I like the more action focus of it. Like Rainbow Six, not a chance I try that. Back for Blood, definitely in. A little to the left on PC, October 21st. Just by title, that sounds like a Greg Miller game.
Yeah.
But
That's the cleaning game, isn't it? Or the organizing game where you like frame pictures and shit.
I don't
Look
know.
really
What that
cool.
was.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I think it was at
game.
E3.
Yeah.
This one actually looks pretty fun.
But this is not the one where you are unpacking your house.
No, this was at like the
that's
Wholesome
unpacking.
Direct or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is
But
like
so
OCD
is the
the
unpacking
game. I
game.
couldn't do. This would drive me crazy.
This is one I'd try out.
so it's a puzzle game. There you go.
Cute it is.
But then, yeah, Battlefield, I'm with Andy. It looks just bonkers. Can't wait to. This is the type of showpiece game that you got to at least try. And I think that's the bigger problem. It being a $70 title. We'll see how many people are in there and if there's a player base to back it up. But
Well, they did mention
for 'em.
that they will be populating servers with bots if there aren't enough players. So
great news for everybody, right? And then we got Guardians, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait. That loved the gameplay demo they showed at E3, and that's just kind of what I want from these type of games. So hope it's good.
I'm surprised by how much I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy, because you had told me before that Square Enix is publishing another, Squad Marvel game, and it's gonna be from not Chris, from Eidos
Eidos
Montreal.
Montreal.
I'd be like, all right, I've played Avengers. I know what we just got. But the fact that I'm here now and I'm like, shit, I really want to play this game. This is probably one of the games I'm looking forward to the most from October. I'm shocked about it, but looking forward to it. Like the combat looks fun, the writing seems really fun, the like weird make a choice stuff and dialogue stuff seems cool. Like it seems like a different type of single player action game.
Lead a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited for this one. Then Mario Party Superstars, not much to say about that, but God, I hope this is it.
wait.
And it looks like it's going to be the gold standard for Mario Party. Just take all the best bits, put them into one thing. Let's hope online works great, and boom, we have a winner.
I can't
Very cool.
wait.
November, Just Dance 2022 is coming, and then Forza Horizon 5, November 9th. Can't wait. It
Let's
looks
go.
beautiful, man. Oh my God.
This one's getting the blessing must play seal. Forza
Holy
Horizon.
shit!
Oh,
the
yeah.
graphic.
Jason Schreier, this is one for you to write about. Yeah, no, I Forza Horizon, since I started playing, which was like I guess with both 3 and 4, blew me away. And these games have a way of getting me addicted to them. Like I think what they do for me is they help fill in that void, that void of burnout that I've not been able to fill since Burnout Paradise. Like Forza Horizon usually comes through and gives me that arcade racing feel that has the feel good vibes, has the cool liveries that you put on. I don't know how to pronounce them, but like the cool skins you can put in your cars, and just like really good gameplay and a really good open world. Like they know how to make a game, and I am very much looking forward to Forza Horizon 5.
Everything feels so like there's just such high levels of satisfaction you get out of playing these games.
Yeah.
Everything feels rewarding, and you do crazy combos for going super fast off this certain cliff. And oh shit, I didn't even know that was a little achievement, but there we go. Because I did something dope, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. I can't wait to get on this. And I think this will be one that I actually play on the Series X, where I play most stuff on PC. But I think this one, it'll just be easier for me to play on TV as well, because I'm not always going to want to play this on my computer. Just kick back in the old chair, kick my legs
dude.
up, Greg. Have a little
Yeah.
chicken wings with me.
Pour a
Oh,
Mountain
good Lord.
Dew. Get in there.
Yeah.
Usually
Race
when I
a
play,
bit, dude.
usually when I play games, I either play them on my monitor at my desk, or sometimes I'll play them on the TV back here. This is one that I'm going to go into the living room and play on the actual big screen and kick Mako out and be like, "Yo, this is my time now."
It's my
Wow,
time.
I'm
the
using this
blessing
TV.
play on the TV seal of approval. That's the
Yeah.
first one today.
And
That's a
then,
different one.
He's gonna play it on the TV.
and then more for Bless. We got Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, November
Oh, yeah.
11th. Yeah,
Can't wait
just
for
what
that one,
you've
too.
wanted. Asked for years for this, so you're welcome, Bless.
I love
fucking
Janet
go.
giving you shit for this.
But like it's the exact same thing as Greg playing Avengers, except GTA is actually a very good game. A game that got many 10 out of 10s.
Blessing, at least Avengers
10 out
came
of
out
10s.
last year.
Yeah,
and not
that's the
8 years
difference.
ago. Blessing.
Do you know how many
It's an
people still
8-year-old
play
game.
GTA Online? There's tons of us.
You know what game came out
Tons.
even longer ago? Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but they're remade now in brilliant and shining form, coming November 19th. I like Gen 4 is great. It's fantastic series of Pokemon games. I really don't like the look of these games, and it gives me the vibes of that Nintendo Pokemon Company style that I'm like, okay, y'all ain't really trying that hard on this. This is definitely more of a y'all just need a iteration to come out at this time, but definitely more excited for Arceus Legends or whatever it's called coming supposedly early next year.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely gonna play through this.
Oh, I'm gonna play the shit out of this. I think it's adorable looking. I love the art style.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, I like the art style,
There
too.
are
I'm super
dozens
looking
of
forward to
us.
this.
And you know what? I will say that I think the devs did try hard on it. Eat that, Tim.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, when you play Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening and then you play look at this, I find it hard to agree with what you're saying, but that's just me.
They're angling for different things. It's not everything's got to look the same. You know, like
That's
just
right,
because
I
Zelda's
like how this
got
looks
tilt
more
shift
than
and
Sword.
shiny water. It's a different thing they're aiming for, and I think it's
Yeah.
cute and stupid looking.
I'm happy you do. I think it looks dumb and not good at all. But then we got December Advanced Wars 1 and 2 reboot camp.
Whoa, Timmy.
What do you got? What do you got?
Shin Megami Tensei 5 is actually coming out this year. And I'm just wondering of like where people are at with this one, because this is the closest experience of Persona 5 on Switch you're ever gonna fucking get. So Blessing. Andy,
Damn.
y'all into this? What's going on? Well, Andy, definitely not.
Nah,
turn-based.
fuck no.
Not for you. Blessing, are you going to check this out at all?
I want to try it out. I've never been a Shin Megami Tensei person, but I like I like it in proximity to Persona. And so watching the trailer, you see all the creatures and you see the battle system and you see the attacks, and it's like, oh yeah, this is like Persona got all its elements from this. And so naturally, if I like the combat in Persona and the world of Persona, hopefully there's going to be something here for me too. So I want to try it out specifically for that.
Yeah, I'm interested because I know like Persona is like the spin-off of SMT, and I know SMT is like way more hardcore, and like I've seen people talk about the HD re-release of SMT 3 on the Switch and like how hard it is and stuff like that. And so like I'm interested to check it out, and like if there's like an updated battle system that like will actually pull me in, like and have that level of difficulty that SMT is known for having, but maybe being a little like even just looking at this, like
yeah, look
I
at
don't
this.
know,
This
I don't know if
cool.
it looks cool, but like there's just something about like the menu and like the way that the menus like pop up and stuff like that doesn't seem appealing, and reminds me a little bit too much of Persona 4 Golden, and playing that and feeling like, oh, this feels like a very old kind of menu system that I'm scrolling through and stuff like that. Like it doesn't feel kind of
It doesn't have the style of Persona 5. Where Persona 5 every single menu
it's hard to really explain, especially because turn-based stuff isn't my forte, but there's just something even just with like the different layout and stuff and like how quick Persona 5 feels that appeals
This
to me.
definitely seems like something you play handheld, because it is not going to scale well on a TV.
Oh no,
just
not.
like zoomed in right now, looking at the way a lot of the characters and creatures are shaded and textured, it reminds me a lot of when we saw the HD remake for Resident Evil 4, and it looks old, but it's just crisper and the textures don't look hella blurry, but it still just looks like an older type game. Art style is great though. It's got a really good art style, but it just, I don't know, it looks like an HD remake of an older game.
Yeah.
When you're in battle.
Then closing this out here, we don't have too much left. We got the December games, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, December 3rd on Switch. Hell
Let's go.
yeah. Fantastic. Super high quality games that I'm excited more people are going to get to play for the first time or for the second or third. Then we have Dying Light 2 Stay Human on December 7th.
Stay human.
You think maybe that time is going to be good for that game? Because like December is kind of a weird one, or is it kind of just then going to get lost because there's been so much right around it?
It's so hard to say with that one. You know what I mean? Dying Light at one point meant something, and I feel like we've heard so much about Dying Light 2 for so many years. You talk about earlier, we were talking about Deathloop, right? And we've seen enough of Deathloop. Like, I feel like I've seen enough of Dying Light 2 for an intense, different reason. I was like sick of hearing about this game. Like, just shut up and put it out, and let's see what it is when it gets here, kind of thing. It could be good if it's missed the holiday rush of the fall and Black Friday lead up. It could get there and do something for a lot of people, but I don't know. Like, it's still a tough one. Dying Light was that first one we always pointed back to, that, hey, this one came out in, whatever, it was January, February, the beginning of the year, and found that, hey, nothing was here, and it made a bigger splash because of it. So now gambling and going in December, you do lose the podcast talk, you do lose the IGN talk, you do lose people being anchored to their computers and stuff. But it could work out if the reviews aren't great and people are not into it, but they know it was coming out and they want to play a zombie game.
Yeah. There you go. That is every game with a release date in 2021. There was a bunch of games we didn't talk about, like Halo Infinite, but guess what? Doesn't have a release date.
To the rescue.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that all goes. Thank you all for joining me for this episode. We're about to do the Patreon post show for people on patreon.com/kindafunnygames. We appreciate you all very much. Until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.